Hello, everyone. All right. So, welcome to Dragon Memoria. For those joining us for the first time, greeting. It's a pleasure to have you with us. For those returning, welcome back. It's also a pleasure to have you with us again. And for those wondering what this channel might be, because you might have just clicked on the first live channel you found on a search, well, if you don't like looking at people playing Dungeons & Dragons, this is probably not your night for you here. For everyone else, well, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and we hope you will have an interesting evening. Alright, so, last episode. The party, well, they sort of started to feel the weight of traveling long distances on a, even though small island, still long distance from where they were supposed to go. And travel started to get a little monotonous. So, they did their best to hurry it up along. And we had the chance of seeing audience leave the group, take a good distance from the group. For those wondering why he did that, well, it's because internet threw us quite a tantrum last week. So, it was in character. After a little bit of travel, they heard about trouble inside the town that they were inside a village that they were going to be entering very soon. They managed to get there relatively safely. They even had the chance to see a little light show in the forest while they were walking. And as they got closer to the village, they slowly started to feel the weight of what was going on in this village, as they started to find dead carcasses, some severely mangled, of different livestock, sheep mostly. Our druid, with a very good nature check, managed to identify that what was causing this was most likely armed enemies butchering these poor creatures. However, once they reached the town, the villagers started to tell the party a story of a creature living in the forest, which had once been a guardian, but now everyone believed had fallen under some sort of corruption and was tearing up the livestock of the village and terrorizing everyone in it. Since it mostly came at night, they urged the party, who had already voiced an interest in helping them, to hurry up, go to the wood, as the night was almost upon them, and immediately start looking for this creature. And it is exactly what the party decided to do. Hurrying up, going to the forest, and started their exploration of the Torounai Woods, hoping to find the creature. As the last bit of light disappeared from the sky, they managed to find a place where a creature had probably spent quite a few hours there, or maybe a few hours divided in a series of days, days and probably nights. And they decided to stop there to plan for what was going to be next. And this is where we left off. And unfortunately for the group, I have to say that we start with a slight bad news, because you have all been walking for over 12 hours without rest, and for some of you even more. I will all have to ask you Sorry, it's important to give the words in the right order. I will have to ask
I
each
already
one
know
of
what
you
you're
to
gonna
make a
say.
constitution save because you
Okay.
feel exhaustion coming on.
Oh gosh. It's always good.
And because everyone has been rationing themselves quite heavily on food and water for the entire day, I have to ask to make it at disadvantage.
Oh gosh.
All
All
right.
right then. Gotta roll again.
Asshole, that was a natural 20.
I was about to say I had an unnatural 20, but
That's still 16 plus 3,
That's a
so
16.
19. So, yeah, I'm still good.
I went down from 19 to 18, so...
I am not. The
21.
fast
Uh-oh.
pace I've been setting myself has definitely worn a toll, and with a roll of 4, my character is feeling quite tired.
Yes. Tobiyashi, what was your roll?
14 plus 2, so that is a 16.
All right. So, Valtteri,
math
you
ahead?
said
Wow.
that was
21.
21 at disadvantage.
I had a 19 and now 18.
Wow, all right. So, well, it looks like that everyone feels exhausted but has managed to shrug off the effect of the exhaustion, with the exception of Audience, who now takes 1 point of exhaustion.
Which I'm trying to find.
Throw some water on him. He'll be fine.
Here we go. Add active conditions. There we go. Exhaustion, level 1.
And if you're wondering why I decided to add the fact that you were rationing food and water, is because I looked at all of your inventories, and for the four of you together, you don't even have enough water for half a day of walk. This means you heavily rationed yourself.
I got
Every
a full
time.
bottle of wine, man.
Yeah.
I'll
I
find
think
some
that
mushrooms
dehydrates
somewhere.
you.
I'll be fine.
Not sure that hydrates you. Pretty sure alcohol dehydrates you.
It does for a short period of time.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of fair. He's wearing all this plate armor.
And he did adopt a marching pace throughout the day without taking a rest somewhere in the middle to eat, recover. So
I didn't even
Jesus.
have an apple.
Not even had an apple. Yeah, that's
You
right.
went too far away to give
Yeah, you're too far away. It was all I could do to just get one to Toby 100 feet ahead of us.
Oh, I have pears.
By the way, just for info, in case anyone was wondering, I checked the sound and all our sound is working. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
I never
Good.
did check it. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, well, at least it would have been very early. So we
Yeah.
would have time to just go back to everything we just did. But
So,
thank you very much for watching this.
so we're taking away one ration, right?
No, actually, you just ate fruits, and since fruits isn't a meal, you mostly rationed yourself throughout the day. You didn't even stop to take a meal when you got to town, so you rationed yourself and you skipped the meal.
Yeah. I have a bunch of fruit too.
I have 2 cucumbers. No, 3 cucumbers.
Yes, but when I offered it, you just decided to all keep on moving.
Maybe I eat a cucumber on the way.
You can eat a cucumber now if you want.
I apparently have 10 rations.
Yes, you all have rations, but
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
say, pretty
asked,
sure we all do.
I asked everyone if you wanted to take a break and eat, and you all said no.
Yeah, I'd just be eating pears the whole way, you know.
Oh, we be snacking.
Yeah.
So, in the future, if you want to avoid this, you can either take a rest or twist Valtteri's arm into adding the Goodberry spell to her inventory.
Yes, I know. I still have to put that in.
So,
I know.
you are now in the woods. The night has fallen, and since you are in a wood, it is very dark. Trevor did use a light spell to help add a little bit of light, and Tobiyashi decided to move at the edge of the light radius.
Yep.
So his eyes doesn't quite lose whatever dark vision humans can have.
Yeah.
About what time is it in the evening now?
Sun is set. I'd say most likely around 8:30. You're 2 weeks away from the solstice, so
Okay.
And I remember
I'm just thinking about a spell, but I'm gonna wait a little bit for it.
And I remember us talking last time if we should go to the sheep or keep following the trail of the creature,
Yes,
which is about 2-3 hours still away.
You did find a trail leading toward the village, where something large most likely made its way. So this is an option. I believe Tao didn't find anything else.
Yeah, not in the immediate vicinity. I haven't sent him sent him out on the trail yet, but that was going to be
and
a
right
suggestion.
now you're not hearing any sound that would help you find such a large creature. However, Valtteri, you did learn with a good religion check that if I believe it was religion or just straight intelligence. Anyway, I remember you succeeded it, and you do know that some of these creatures actually have the innate ability to pass without trace in these woods, so it might actually simply be very stealthy.
Yes.
Wait, we're in the clearing right now, or did you pass that already?
You're not in a clearing. You're just in a place where everything seems to have been bedded down a bit. So most likely the creature that you're tracking right now passed there several times, but it is not a clearing. It is simply a place where all the shrubs and the bushes have been removed or squashed.
Can I estimate how big it is?
Sure, make a nature check.
Rendry likes right at the beginning of the like almost outside of the forest again, like on the edge.
Right now, the edge of the forest from where you are.
I think that wasn't that far away.
Eventually you're gonna get there. I'd say you're about here, so it's about an hour and a half if you walk in a straight line to get to the edge of the forest.
That is a 13.
13. It's hard to tell. You haven't had much practice tracking creatures in the forest, so you're confident it is large because you can find branches that have been displaced in places that are taller than you. But it's hard to tell with more precision. Even the traces on the ground, they don't really make sense to what you know. It definitely is a creature, but it doesn't follow any standard type of prints that you have ever encountered. So it's larger than you. That's as best as you can judge.
That's good to know. All right. So what do you guys think we should do from here? I turn to the group and speak to them.
I mean, if we go back to the sheep, we might be able to save them of what the town folks told us, that creature goes out during the night to get its meals. Or we keep following the track.
Or we could stay here if we know that this is where it comes back to bed itself, and we could try and lay some sort of trap for it here.
Do we have traps?
Can I tell if the trail was leading back somewhat to where the sheep were, like in that general direction, even if it was offshot a little bit?
I'd say make a nature check.
Just nature. I got a +4 for it.
Dang.
Yeah, 9's not going to cut it though, so that's 13.
Same
No.
as me.
Well, because of Valtari, you know where the traces of the creature leave where you are, and you were able to find where. Well, another place where the traces leave from where you are. So one of them seems to be going in the general direction, and the other one seems to be going further into the forest. But with that roll, you really can't tell which is the
Yeah.
fresher one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that then. I won't even say anything, but I'll say, they're all valid options, so we definitely need to agree on one here.
Can we be certain that the creature this night will take this path again to walk back? Or if it has another way to go get sheep?
Yeah. And this might
Well-
not be at the same
Since
same
I
time,
can't
this might
decide.
not be the only place it beds down either. It might have multiple places, so
Thinking
it's all going to be a gamble no matter which one we pick, I think.
I think probably the sheep is the most likely chance because we know that's the one guarantee. We don't know if it will come back here. We don't know which way it went, but we know if we wait by the sheep, even if it's not tonight, we know it will eventually return to that area. That's the one area we can guarantee it will return to. So that's probably our best bet.
But then
That was-
again, at what herd of sheeps?
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion too, is to find one, and because we're still ahead of schedule, so even if it takes a couple of days, I think we'll be okay.
I
Maybe.
just might have a plan.
Huh?
Okay, so you're talking about herds of sheep. So if we go get a herd of sheep, and since we know it travels through this area, probably not often, it just traveled through this area. We could probably set up a trap around the sheep and capture this thing instead of automatically trying to kill it.
Well, we never said that we were gonna kill it.
We never said we weren't.
True.
Yeah. We still need to see what we're dealing with first to see if it's something that we might even be able to negotiate with.
I mean, as far as I was able to see, like, what that creature does, it's probably elemental, so I don't really know if we can negotiate with those.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good information to know. Since I don't know really what to do, I'm gonna leave it up to the tiefling to decide.
How many herds of sheep are near this part of the forest?
Well, the forest covers the entire
That
Village
was a
and-
character question.
Well, since
Huh?
Toby referred to as the tiefling,
Oh, wait, what? Say that
Trevor
again?
Trevor will turn and say she has a name,
Oh yeah, I know, but sorry, I'm just kind of mesmerized by her horns.
Ouch.
Not used to people with them. Sorry, I didn't mean that in a rude sense.
It's okay.
But I'm not really sure how many sheep are around this area. If we could find any, I mean, that'd be a win.
So, about your question about for the sheep herds, the forest is quite large. From one end to the next, you probably need an entire day to walk it. So, every single grazing field of this village is between a mountain and a forest.
But I mean, like, in the area where we are, like, if we would now go straight out of the forest, would we, like, stand in front of a herd of sheep?
You would be in front of a grazing field. Is the grazing field used right now? Since you didn't look around when you got in town to see which grazing field was used, You don't know.
Okay. I'll look into the group and ask, who of you is the fastest person?
Trevor just look at Toby and
Yeah, I look over at Trevor. I look over at audience. I'm like, I think that'd be me.
Okay.
Yep, for sure. Actually, Tao was probably the fastest, but
I look up. I'm like,
as
oh wait.
far
What?
as people, yeah, you for sure.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm the fastest person.
what I was thinking about to check if one of us or maybe even Tao goes straight from here out and see if there are sheep. But maybe we'll take for the night this herd of sheep, or maybe a herd that is close by, about in the direction where the beast went, elemental went, and go take their care and see if it would come out there.
About that time, I won't even say anything, but Tal will take off from my shoulder and just head straight up. And I'm going to send him way up, about 200 feet straight up, to see if he can see anything out there, because he can communicate with me once he comes back down to range. I'm going to tell him to go up, have a look around, and then come down and give me an idea of what he's seen.
Like I was just about to start running.
I look up and like,
All right. What exactly are you telling him to look for?
Just sheep, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to see which way the trail, if it leads to it, from way up there. So just look to see if he sees any sheep and which directions they might be.
Okay.
From my bearing, I'll just sit down in one direction and say, and he can tell me if it's straight ahead, to my right, left, behind, whatever.
All right. If you see sheep, a good hour of walk. Someone does.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I'm sending him way up. So yeah, maybe he'll see something.
Yeah,
because he can communicate when he comes back down into range.
So yeah, sure. He goes up, and you'd have to make a perception roll with disadvantage because it's night, but because it has advantage, it's just a straight roll.
Straight roll. Yeah.
Cute.
Oh shit! Damn. 19, so 22.
All right. It's going to take him a few moments to get back down.
Yeah.
If there's anyone else that wanted to do something, everyone you just see Tal take off.
Well, I think Toby took off already. So.
Yeah, no, I was about to start running, but then I see the bird go up, and I'm like, I guess I won't go then. Just Trevor says nothing.
I should mention, I don't know if it's a good idea.
Yeah, because I didn't even say anything. He just took off.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a good idea for us to necessarily split up either, since we don't know which direction this beast might have gone.
We have a trail.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he runs one way on the trail, we don't know if he went to the edge of the beast.
No, the reason why I was asking is because I still have one spell that could have helped, which is Long Strider, which gives a buff of 10 feet more to walk. That I would have given Toby, so he would be even faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, since Trevor's not looking through his eyes, he can see and talk. But he'll say, "Yeah, just give it a minute. I'll be able to tell you in a minute if he sees anything in at least the direction the trail is or not. So if there's any sheep in that direction."
So since we have time, wait, how much time would we have?
I'd say 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just enough for him to go up, make a few rounds, and then come back.
Okay, then I would
some
just
food.
Yeah.
Actually, while he's doing that, just for the hell of it, I will ritually cast Detect Magic. So that'll once I get that back, I'll at least have 10 minutes of concentration to see if anything magical is within 30 feet of me, just for the hell of it, just to kill time while I'm waiting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, I would start eating too, and I'm talking to audience. So, audience, I was wondering, what, how was your childhood?
It was, a lot of training.
Honestly.
Didn't really do a lot of the normal tasks that children do, such as play and have, too many friends. It was, since my dad was a fighter, it was mostly just practicing with him on different sparring techniques. And then because my master took an interest in me, whenever he'd come, talking to him a lot about dragons and what I could do for them, and kind of, I think now that he must have been prepping me from an early age to be the one to go out to carry on his mission.
Oh, that's interesting. That's almost like mine, but not really. This father person you speak of wasn't in my life. I had plenty of masters, but yeah, mainly my childhood was training and not a lot of leisurely time, as you say.
I think that it has made me into, who I am, though, better, and I don't really miss not having friends, as many of the other dragons didn't necessarily share my same beliefs about dragons being gods. I mean, they were far more skeptical than I, so.
Trevor wants to break his concentration on his ritual spell so bad, but he's going to keep going.
I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this wait to go in real time. This is nice. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, Trevor's like gritting his teeth while he's just continuing to, do his ritual there.
Like, where were you? Where did you stay when you were a child? Like, was it a monastery like me, or did you have a house like you've been passing by?
No, I had a house. I lived with my parents. We had a home in a town outside the dragon capital, about 2 hours outside.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll finish eating up and say thank you for talking with me, and I hope to talk with you again.
In the meantime, Alice just curled up, rocking back and forth.
I'm gonna turn to Toby. I'm gonna be like, so, what do you think this beast is? Do you have any experience with creatures like this?
Well, okay, I'm gonna ask the DM. Do I?
Does she have any idea about this creature?
No. Any experience with big creatures? Like, since I've been on like a few pilgrimages.
Big creatures.
Fought any Tarasques or anything,
Yeah. Something like that.
Like undead dragon.
No. I'd say not fighting. You did encounter on a few occasions the Gumpas of the Sharoon, because you went to another town inside the island of Estron, but it wasn't the major city there. But how it is a one of the major trading hub of the dragonborn and dwarves living inside the mountains. So you did see these beasts of burden, and I'd say you most likely have seen ogres before. Yeah. That's about it.
Well, in my pilgrimages, I've seen beasts and ogres, as you so call, but I've never been in an interaction with them, and I usually stay clear of them. But I guess we're going out to hunt this one.
Well, no, he's still so he can't say anything.
I'll say, yeah, I don't have too much experience with too many beasts besides, obviously, the largest of beasts, dragons, but I don't consider them beasts, and then I don't know. I don't know what else I would have really seen. I don't know what lives around the Dragonborn capital. You could tell me, but I don't know what else I would have seen.
Around the Dragonborn capitals. Well, there are dragons, of course, of many types. You this close to the capital, you probably would have never encountered any, but you've heard closer to where the mountains are. There have been quite a few encounters with giants. You've even heard of sometime tribes that simply disappear, clans that simply disappeared because for some reason there was an exile of giants and they just barreled through their clan, and sometime it happens. You know that there are giant spiders. Those things can live inside of caves, and the Dragonborn island has quite a lot of mountains. So you've heard them. You might even have tasted it. You know, someone who went hunting and came back with one. Again, ogres. They're fairly everywhere. I'd say, oh, this is interesting. Have you?
Ogres are like onions. Sorry, I had to say it.
You've even seen, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right in English, an ethin. Ettin.
Ettin, yeah, E-T-T-I-N. I know what you're talking about.
All right. A sort of giant
can't say anything,
two heads. A sort of giant with two heads. But as far as giant creatures go, you've heard of many, but encountered, that's about it.
Okay. I'll say, I've also actually seen a Etin once, which is like a two-headed giant. Didn't really interact with it, though.
Oh, that sounds pretty interesting. I guess we're gonna come across a lot of those things when we're traveling.
Yeah.
And as you say this, you see Tao coming back down.
Yes,
I've been watching the time. I've been watching the time. It's been 7 minutes. So Tao comes back down.
We just real-timed it.
Yeah, real-timed.
Pretty much, yeah. Yep. Close enough, anyway, yeah. I guess about that time, say 10 minutes or whatever, so I finished my ritual cast to detect magic or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, did he see anything? First of all.
Actually, from where you are, I'd say... Yeah, in the general direction of where the road is going, he did see a grazing field that had sheeps in them. There's even 2 person in the field guarding them, as best as peasants can guard a field, knowing that they might come up against a creature that has shredded.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you keep going directly up, directly toward the path that leads outside of the forest toward what you believe is the town, the village, yes, there are sheeps there. Not a big herd.
Okay.
As far as ritual casting goes, you don't detect anything magical around you. However, there are extremely faint residual magic around you, as if something magical had brushed against different part of the area where you are, with a magic powerful enough to have left an imprint.
Can I tell which direction it came from, or is it just like all around?
No, it is not all around. It seems to follow the road that you can identify. Not sure if it's going or coming, but there are a few trails of this there. But you do know that to leave an imprint, whatever did that, had things that were extremely magical, and it wasn't moving fast.
Okay. He will stand up, face towards that road, and say, I believe it went that way. It's got an extremely magical aura because it left something behind. But detect magic normally doesn't pick up leftover residual stuff like that. It's always a general magic aura, so this is weird, but that's the direction it went. He points down that, and he says there was some sheep in that direction, but they already have some peasants guarding them, so I think it might be going that way.
I kind of scoff when you say peasants. Like, I don't think they're gonna do much.
Question, does my character know about elementals? Because they're also magical, if something like that they could do, like leaving magic behind?
If I remember correctly, you rolled something like a 20 or 21 when you rolled?
I think, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was like 21, 22. It was pretty high.
Yeah. Well, there are instances where this can happen if the creature leaves something behind. The easiest image to have in your mind is a slug moving through something. It would leave a trail of something, but for a creature to leave something like that, there has to be something on him that can be rubbed and that has a magical residual effect.
Can I detect now through that information a little bit more what elemental it could be? Because we weren't completely sure what exact elemental it could be, like a really powerful one or...
Definitely. I would say that having learned this, you could remove the possibility of a swarm of elemental that is weak. It is either something small and very powerful, or something large and equally powerful.
Okay, so guys, I think that with the leaving a trail behind, yeah, that's not a group of little elementals or weak elementals. That's a big one.
I'd still like to see a visual.
I have a question. Have I read anything about elementals? In my studies?
As in you want to use something for this, or as in just wanting to know if you've heard anything about elementals from your master?
Yeah, like, what elementals would, like, what elemental would act like this?
Alright, if it's just
animals.
Alright, if you're not planning to use anything to boost this roll, I'd say...
Guidance.
Yes.
She's waiting in the bushes.
I'm not going to say anything, but here you go.
She just appears creepily behind you.
Gives you a big slap on the back. Hey!
She just puts her hand on my head. I'm just like...
Where the heck did you come from? So I'd say... Okay. I'll give you a choice, and each of them will give you a different kind of information. You can do history, religion, or arcana. Each one will give you a different kind of information.
So it's history, religion, and arcana?
Yeah.
I'll do a religion then.
Okay.
Guidance.
Yeah. That's a natural 1. Plus 4. Plus 3.
They're made of elements, the primordial essence of the world.
I'm gonna go die.
And some can be small, some can be big. And there's a lot of variety, especially in this world.
Wow.
That's what you remember.
That's great. Okay. All right. um, then I will say nothing. I'll get up and get up from eating and wipe
Not
off my
even,
face. Act like I'm
not
gonna
even
say something.
guidance.
Yeah.
Not even guidance can help that.
Yeah.
He just
Uh,
wasn't paying attention when his master told him about elementals.
I
they're
think
just
I
like, wow.
rolled one
Those were the
less than
boring class.
Valtteri with my Arcana check on elementals, so since it was a different check, do I get any more information from what she relayed to the party? Does it
All right.
recall
So
anything?
your knowledge would be more based around what sorcerers learn,
Yeah.
wizard learns.
Uh-huh.
Um.
Just to
He's
see if
about to throw up.
anything
Alright.
she
Sorcerer.
mentioned might have, hit a thrill bit.
Uh,
No, this
well,
is already on a previous roll, so.
knowing about the shards that makes this
You want water,
world,
baby? Sorry.
you do know that nature elementals come from usually a very specific shard, which share its existence with many swamps and poisonous things. So you could be dealing with a purely nature elemental, which would most likely appear as a tree or something like that. Or maybe something like a bog or a swamp elemental, which would appear probably like a large creature covered in moss, um, and could most likely be poisonous.
I mean, if it was a tree, why would a tree go hunt sheep?
Trees are weird.
Well, with the possibility, in the world, sometime when nature gets corrupted, it does turn into some sort of swamp or bog. And Trevor, you do know that it is also one of the reasons why the two elements are tied together, because if one gets out of balance, it can turn into that. But it doesn't mean that the shard itself is evil. It just means that if it falls out of balance, becomes corrupted, the poisonous nature of the bog make it susceptible to becoming or having been something like that.
Alright. Well, he'll pass all that on and say, even though this thing appears to be moving slow, it's almost certainly going to be well camouflaged. So if we follow this trail, don't rush it, take it slow. We might literally run into it and not know it.
Audience is going to say, however, if we take it slow, it might reach the sheep and the peasants first and and we won't be able to help them if we move too slow.
Yeah, but it's also really good at sneaking. It's not only that it can camouflage itself really good.
Yeah, from what Val said, what I recall, it seems to be moving slow, so I don't think we have to rush it too much, but definitely pay attention so we don't literally run into it.
Well, if we run into it, isn't that what we want? Then we can fight it and win.
I have a question. While they're like talking over here, I'm gonna look at both the paths, and Can you use it in this way? Can I use insight to see which way it's going now?
Because you're looking at
Like
a
a
path,
feeling,
I'd say
like
it's perception more than perception.
I would say because like it says it's a deep intuition understanding. So, like if I could feel like an energy coming from that way, or like
Yeah. Well, insight, you actually need something to evaluate or someone to evaluate. It is evaluating the body language. However, what you're doing does fall into the category of either investigation or perception. If you're just looking around to have a feeling, this would be perception. But if you're really getting down on your knees and sniffing around, ruffling things, and
Not to
Then that would be
metagame, but
investigation.
you could describe what you're looking for to Trevor and give him advantage, and he could use insight, maybe. I don't know.
Guidance.
No, I just kind of like wanted a like what I could use insight for, because I wasn't really sure if you could just use insight just to have a feeling of where something's at, or like.
Now, insight is really when,
Isn't that on a
for example,
person?
you're trying to figure out if someone
Someone's
is
lying.
lying,
Okay.
because with the body language, if it seems to be nervous, if you're starting to see some sweat gathering on his brow, if he seems to be fidgeting or things like that.
Yeah.
This is the nature of insight. Yes, you can use it for something else. Let's say you encounter a creature. It's not
Yeah.
humanoid, but it still has reaction and body language. When you're
Okay.
trying to learn more about, let's say, a crime scene, this is either investigation or perception.
Okay, well, since you said that, can I use it to see if can I use insight to see if it was moving aggressively through this area?
I'd say this is still investigation or
Okay.
perception because there's nothing there anymore.
All right,
There's no
just
creature.
wondering.
Insight is always for a creature. That's
Okay.
what.
If
And
you
I-
actually
Make it-
saw it moving, yes, you could be able to say insight, but because it is not there anymore and you're just examining the fact after, this is either investigation or perception.
Okay.
Guidance.
Okay. Yeah, I will make investigation. No, I mean perception. Sorry.
Perception, and you're trying to figure out what exactly.
If it's moving in which direction it's moving, because I'm looking at both paths while they're talking.
All right. Are you doing this limited to inside the light circle of Trevor's spell, or are you trying to go beyond that?
I'd be trying to go beyond it a little bit.
Okay, then you'd have to do it at disadvantage because
I'll accept
you're
that.
trying to figure this out in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Guidance.
And you have guidance.
Yeah.
Just constantly just slapping you on the back. There you go. May the gods be with you, or whatever.
She's very friendly with her party members, keep
So that-
slapping them in the back.
So that's a 15 plus
I would have.
4.
19.
I would have said I
19.
would keep slapping them in the face,
Wait,
but
plus-
he had it back to the two.
So wait, I add my thing. Okay, yeah. So it's a 18 plus 4 plus 2.
D4.
Oh, all right. So this is quite a good perception roll.
In the dark.
Even in the dark. All right. So what did you say again? You were trying to figure out?
Which path it's going down now. Or which one's fresher, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah. Because yes, you were able to figure it out. Because you noticed something while trying to figure this out. You saw a smear of some sort of thick, gooey liquid at one end of the area you are, and at the other end where there is another, where the trail keeps going, it is not as hard, meaning that it most likely the one that is the hardest was most likely done earlier, and the one softest after.
Okay.
And from that, you would say that it is going toward the village.
Well, I would turn back to the group while you guys are talking. Are you guys gonna keep talking?
Yeah, imagine all that was going on while you were doing
Yeah.
your thing. So.
Yeah. So I walk up and I say I have a strong feeling that it's going to the village right now. By looking around while you guys were talking over here, I found this goo. I'm gonna like kind of walk towards it if they're gonna follow me.
Yeah, Trevor will follow you. He's just waiting for somebody to make some kind of decision here.
Yeah.
Yes, well, actually, Trevor, as soon as he points out the goo, you
I go to touch
realize that it coincides with the faint magical aura.
Yeah. And I'll say that as I start walking, that's the same direction the magical aura I'm getting is. So yeah, let's head out.
And actually, everywhere you see this faint aura, Tobiyashi found a little bit of goo.
Alright. Yeah, like I said, as long as I keep concentration on it, I got it for like 10 minutes. So I'm like, I got 10 minutes on this. I don't know how much time we just killed here talking about this, but this is the direction it's going.
Knowing that it is goo, does my character know what about elemental could have goo?
Well, are you trying to go and investigate this goo?
We should start walking.
I was like walking and like I thought maybe I could think of remembering any elemental that had goo, but I wouldn't investigate the goo itself specifically.
You wouldn't investigate the goo, just from memory.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I don't
obvious,
think it's up.
because of what Trevor said about everything, simply the word goo does make you think about bogs, swamps, and things like that.
Okay, that could be uncomfortable to fight. And my character also knows that can include poison, right?
It can. Doesn't necessarily do,
Yes.
but it can.
Guys, be careful. This creature doesn't have to be, but can be poisonous. Same with the goose, so better don't touch it.
All right, when I'm about to touch it. It's like,
Oh, all right, sorry.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
No, you human
As
don't
Trevor's
touch
like
it, so
waiting for
touch
everybody to walk, I can still kind of just grab Val's hand and, kind of guide her out and say, well, we need to at least get eyes on this thing and see what we're dealing with. We don't know until we see it.
I start to, I'll start to walk ahead of everyone.
Yeah. I'll ask Toby,
I'm
do
gonna
you want the light source or are you good?
I should be fine for the time being.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna
I'm the
unsheath
only
my
one.
If you
sword
need
and
it, let me
shield
know. I'll toss it ahead to you.
Yes.
and just kind of walk. I'll walk behind Toby, like not right behind him, but like a little bit behind him. Keep an
Yes,
eye on
good.
him.
Yes, don't let the only person who has dark vision not lead.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll be fine.
Don't
half
worry. Oh.
Runs
It's a
against
trick.
wall.
Yeah, and I know Tao has dark vision, but Trevor's not even going to try it right now. Yeah.
I mean,
And
I
we're
don't
off.
have dark vision either.
Yeah, I'm the only one of the four of us.
Yep. She's our night guide.
Well,
Yeah.
Fine. You need to be able to see all around us instead of just in front of
And
us. We're
basically in the
focused on
back
the
with
front.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Well, since Tobiyashi doesn't have any dark vision or any tool that help him to see in the darkness, every perception roll that you make will be at disadvantage.
and
Yep.
I think I'm too far away to give guidance, especially when
Yeah.
audience is also in between.
Between us, yeah.
And especially since Tobiyashi did say that he went on ahead of the group. So,
Good luck, buddy.
We'll be fine.
Tobiyashi, are you paying attention to your surrounding or are you just hurrying it up toward the edge of the forest?
I'll be paying attention.
Then make a perception roll with disadvantage.
Yes, sir. That is a 10.
All right. Well, you narrowly avoid a tree, a regular one.
Guys, watch out! There's a tree there.
I'm like even though I'm far behind, I like see even though it's everything in gray, white, and black.
Watch out for that tree. I'm having a
I'm like,
George of the Jungle flashback there.
I'm lightly amused by looking at Toby really struggling to not run into a tree.
Alright, as for the rest of the group, do you pay attention to what is around you, or are you...
I don't.
Well,
I just follow Toby.
Yeah. Well, I got my light rock, plus I'm holding Val's hand, so I'm sure she's not going to run me into anything. So yeah, between the two, I'd say we're at least okay.
Well, then in that case, Valtteri, I'd say you can make a perception roll with advantage because you have light and you have Trevor helping you in some way.
And I could use guidance.
And you can guide yourself.
Yep, you can.
And I'm hitting every tree on the way.
With 10, I'd say you narrowly managed to avoid them. Some are even very spectacular. You keep walking the brisk pace and, whoa, a branch. Whew, almost felt like that one was alive.
Might get a few brushes through the hair, but that's about it.
Audience is slowly feeling less and less confident as he follows in Trevor's footsteps.
It's like I'm practicing.
Good thing I got that because I just rolled a 4, so... And a 19 it is.
There you go.
Okay, so it was perception.
Yes.
So that would be 23, and I rolled a 4, so 27.
Wow. Maybe you should keep a few of those roll for when you're actually going to fight. All right. Well, with a perception roll that big, you easily see most of what is around you. And it does feel like you're following a creature that has been there very recently. However, there is one thing you didn't notice before that you notice now because of the pace you're keeping, because of the distance between the footsteps of the creature, and how it slightly zigzags. You might be following an injured creature.
I tip at Trevor's shoulder and I think the creature you're following got hurt.
Good.
Wait, can I then out of that conclusion get that liquid that is like maybe blood of the creature?
So I was just about to ask myself after she mentioned that to me. So I guess, I don't know. Well, let's see what role it is and see who wants to help who here.
I'd say a medicine check, and it is a very low DC.
Okay, that would be you then for sure. I'll give you advantage.
Yeah, +6.
Yeah.
And I can use guidance again.
Yeah, I'll definitely aid you on that. So
that's a 6, okay, and 13 plus 6 is math. It's 18 plus 2 is a 20.
So with Trevor helping you, what happened is most likely that you see this, you tell Trevor, and you look ahead, and both of you look at each other at the same time and say, blood!
Yep, yes. And about that time, I don't know which one yells it out, but yep, we'll say it's injured. Yeah, maybe pick up the pace just a little.
Valtteri, because of your medicine check, it also hits your head. Tree sap. Hardened tree sap.
Tree sap?
The blood of the creature is hardened tree sap.
Do you say the tree sap out loud?
Yeah, I'm like
to yourself?
loudly. Yeah, I'm like loudly mumbling like tree sap.
Like, is that the blood that we're seeing?
I think we're chasing a tree.
As that's happening, I turn back. Or yeah, you can keep going. I was just going to do it real quick. I was going to say I need the light.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he'll toss it up there to you and keep holding Val's hand there since she's the one with the dark vision. And I'd say, well, at least we know what we're looking for now. But unfortunately, there's quite a lot of trees around us.
We're still having a lead, so we just need to follow the blood trail. Which also means if that is the elemental who kills the sheep and it's wounded, it probably won't go kill sheep tonight because, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. We could just keep following the trail then. I mean, I could cast it as a spell and keep moving. I do have that one prepared, but if we could catch up to it, I don't know if 10 minutes a pop to wait and ritually cast it would be worth it or not.
Audience, are you hearing what they're saying?
Yeah, I'd say we're not talking quietly, so...
Mic low.
Your microphone is a bit low because I can't hear you.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. No, I would probably hear what they were saying.
All right. So in that case, I would say
I have the light now.
I
tossed the rock for
Make
you.
an intelligence roll, and the DC won't be high.
Good.
Because it falls directly in what you're good at, fighting.
He needs all one.
Is the DC higher than a 3 though?
Oh my god.
Question, did I hear this?
No, you don't have any bonus to this, huh?
Dang.
So you just look around
0.
you and says, that's interesting, an injured tree. Yeah.
I just start suspiciously looking at every tree around me.
Have I heard
prodding a few of them with my sword. Just, are you alive? No? Okay.
Have I heard anything about bleeding trees? Or did I not hear any of that?
I don't know
We're
where
talking
away you are.
quiet, so...
With your perception roll, because you just received a stone, that means you're probably within 60 feet of the group. Trevor and Valtteri, were you even trying to speak softly, or you were speaking at normal voice?
I'd say probably normal voice, just in case it might have rang a bell with anybody else.
Right. So Tobiyashi, most likely you would have heard this.
Okay.
I can allow you to make an intelligence roll. The DC will be higher because you're not as focused on combat as audience.
Oh, wow, okay, wow. Come on. Guidance? No, I'm just playing.
Too far away. She has to
I
touch you.
Yeah, I could.
That is an unnatural 20.
Hey.
Wow,
Question.
all right.
When I
Yes.
spit at someone, can I give them guidance for that?
Go spit on Toby for a touch, yeah.
I'm just like, what the heck?
It's raining.
What the heck was that? I feel inspired, but
I feel inspired.
inspiring spit. Unfortunately, that would not work with spit. With 20, yeah, I'd say this is enough. With everything
The
you've
old
heard,
folktale.
there's one thing that keeps popping into your mind, and you've heard Valtteri and Trevor say that these creatures are magical, powerful, hard to hit. You've seen what the peasant looks like in town, in the village.
Did it got hurt?
How the heck would have they been able to injure an elemental?
There's another elemental. A bigger, more dangerous elemental.
You're not part of that
Okay.
thought.
Okay, I'll turn to, since audience is right next to me, I'll say, not like lowly, but I'll be talking to him, I'll be like, I'm not sure if we're just fighting one of these things, or trying to find one of these things.
Or this isn't even the one that was terrorizing the people.
Do you think I'll turn to you. You'll think there might be more?
There might be more, but here, come with me. And I start to head over to, start to slow down so we could talk to Trevor and Valtteri.
All right.
Yeah, we're bringing up the rear, so yeah.
So I'd say you've been walking for almost an hour now. You know that you're getting closer to the edge of the forest, and then you stop and start talking.
So, by my understanding, none of the, I don't want to call them peasants. What else would you call them?
Villagers,
commoners.
The villagers in the village weren't at all prepared enough to even be able to injure this thing. So there's probably another one out there like it.
A land shark.
And when Tobiyashi says this, audience, you sort of feel stupid for not having thought about this.
Trevor will speak up and say, well, we still don't know which one is the good one and which one is the bad one. The bad one might be the one injured. We still need to find it and try and determine.
I never heard of a tree elemental killing sheep, so...
We don't even know if it's another elemental that damaged it. It could really be anything that has the power to damage an elemental.
It could have been... Maybe it was a normal commoner and they wanted to chop down the tree.
Yeah. I still want to have eyes on it to see exactly what we're dealing with first and go from there.
Hey, well, just thought you'd have that information, and I'm going to keep guiding.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it. Lead on.
Hey.
Wait, are we all standing next to each other?
Yeah,
right
we're
now,
still...
yes.
Start walking.
Can I already give him guidance just in case if he wants to
give him another slap upside the head. Here you go.
Well, guidance for this is not going to help much because he's walking and paying attention.
But continual thing. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not possible to give it to someone and then they can use it when they need it.
Well, yes, it is, but not it's something that is continuous. Basically, he's making multiple perception check as he's walking.
I meant if he was doing something different where he would need a check, that he then can use that.
You can use
hold
it on
for
something.
A minute.
Yeah, it'll stay active for a minute, and you can use it on something that is a one-roll check. For example, if he's trying to find clues on the floor in a room that he hasn't seen before, yes, now that's not a problem. But if he's just walking and looking around, and yes, I'm making him do another perception roll, but it is mostly to see if he sees something else or is very unlucky, because when it's something that happens for a while, I take into consideration the passive traits also.
Wasn't I the only one who was actually rolling perception?
I rolled one.
Oh, yours rolled one. Okay.
Well, Trevor doesn't even have a stone now, so he's dependent on you pretty much, so...
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could see anything up in the front over here.
Well, where you can make another perception roll. It's been an hour.
We would start... Okay, so, we started walking now, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, I'd make a perception roll.
Yep.
I'd be about in throwing distance of Trevor.
Okay.
Not my throwing distance, his throwing distance.
So 15 feet, maybe?
That's a 10. Plus nothing? Yeah, that's a 10.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful night. You've seen a few stars. But on its own, the forest doesn't seem to have anything around you. And the trail seems to keep going in the same direction. With a 10, that's about it.
Okay. It looks all good from here. Let's just keep going.
Let's pick up the pace a bit. Now that we know it's injured, we need more information. I want to get
Alright.
eyes on this creature.
Can I still keep looking around now that something, or even the thing itself, is hiding? Or
Well,
ambushing?
that's basically what Tobiyashi was doing. So,
Okay.
he didn't roll. You didn't assist him. So yes, you could do this, but you won't get any assistance from anyone because
Yeah.
one roll has already been made.
Well, I still have my own guidance.
Spending that guidance like tokens at as shakies.
I kept reminding her about it. Now I created a monster with it.
Yes, and it's a 21 with the
21.
guidance.
Just a beholder with D4s on the top.
Yeah.
All right. With 21, what do you see?
Well, what do I see?
You tell her.
Yeah, I'm wondering if.
Did I get promoted to the DM or?
No.
I see a magical
Oh,
sword.
what do I see?
Yeah.
I see.
I see a treasure chest filled with all the gold and magical items. The
See a
game.
treasure chest filled with scrolls and gold.
Yeah, I don't mind. Do you want to open it? I'm still dungeon master.
It's
It's
just like
probably a mimic.
I got a +6 to investigation, so I'll definitely check it for traps if you need.
instead of your
so-
adventure wanting gold.
What are your plans for walking? Are you just walking in a straight line until you get out of the forest, or are you planning to stop and wait for something at one point?
I thought we would just keep going on the blood trail.
All right.
Yeah.
Blood trail.
So it's hard to see the end of the forest from where you are, but you do think that you're probably going to leave the forest in a few moments because the trees have been starting to be further apart from one another. You see less and less dense foliage, and just as you start seeing the clearing from in front of you, Valtteri, you notice something on the floor. Small footprints.
Am I able to see what footprints they could be from? They're my own.
Definitely some sort of humanoid creature. You've never encountered those footprints before. However, they are of a size that you would say a creature that is similar in size to that of a kobold, but not a kobold.
I'm like lightly pushing Trevor. Like there's footprints. It's not a kobold, but something similar, but I don't know what.
It's not the same sort of footprint. It's the
Yeah.
same size. But
Yeah,
a
from the
kobold
size.
does have a foot very similar to that
With
of
the
the
claw.
dragon. But
Yeah.
that
Do I hear this? Do I hear her say this?
well, unless you,
Yeah.
how far from the group are you planning on getting?
Unless you're dead. No,
Well, how far is Toby in between, ahead of Val and Trevor,
Throwing
I'd
distance.
say? Okay.
Trevor's
well,
throwing distance.
it's
So,
about 15, 20
audience-
so
feet.
and I'm
So,
between, and I'm between that.
so
You're
like
between
10,
that, then
15
yes,
feet.
you most likely heard Valtteri say this.
Okay, when she says that, I'm gonna say, due to previous information we've gotten, I'm gonna guess it's a goblin then, because they're around the same size, and we've heard that there are goblins in this area.
About that time, all that said, Trevor will just, like I said, not say anything, but just mentally command Tao, take off, follow the trail. He's going to fly about 150 feet down and then just bounce back and forth just within 100 feet to communicate with me until he sees something there.
All right.
Anything, just anything moving, regardless if it's kobold, the tree, sheep, whatever. He's just going to keep following the trail and just fly a little bit ahead, come back, communicate, head back out.
All right. Make a perception roll for Tao.
All right.
Oh no, wait, I can't give Tao guidance, damn it.
Yeah, he already took off. And that's fine. That's another 18 plus 3, so 22.
22.
Because he gets
Wow,
advantage. So
you're all rolling very high tonight.
We're still moving,
Tao
right?
gets advantage on any perception check, so that helps
I
a
am
lot.
not. I've
Well,
only
if I
rolled a
didn't
4 and a
have-
3.
If I didn't had an advantage before, I would have rolled a 4. So yeah.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
that's what my second roll was a 4. So
I'm rolling terribly tonight. I'm saving all my good rolls for combat, hopefully.
Yeah, and when combat starts, I'd say, audience, you might be the only one who's going to fight properly. The other one are going to have exhausted all of their good rolls.
Yeah.
You never
no,
know.
I'm getting a mix because, like I said, with
All right.
perception rolls, I'm getting a good and a bad.
My new die hates me though.
All right,
Yeah,
so
you need to find. Yeah, audience definitely needs to find a new one for his intelligence rolls for sure.
or something that boosts his intelligence period.
Yeah.
All right, so Tao does look on the ground, and because he's used to, well, no. Tao himself isn't used to hunting small creatures, but because he's impersonating a creature that does, and he does share the same trait, it is fairly
Thanks for
easy
listening.
for him to follow small things on the ground and figure out the patterns of movement that you can have in a forest. And definitely, the feeling that he does give is that of a small creature, not a small creature, a lot of small creatures. He doesn't see them right now. However, as he keeps making the move back and forth, you do leave the forest edge and you start walking in a clearing that will lead to the town, and you enter into a
Bless
grazing
you.
field, or rather, when you get to the fence limiting the edge of the grazing field, Tao does see blood, traditional blood, red blood. You're not sure if it's from a person or an animal, but there is blood, and it is fairly fresh.
All right. Yeah.
And there are no more footprints from the large creature leaving, going toward the town. However, there are a lot of small footprints making their way to the village, and yet none coming back for now.
So
Sorry. Well, Trevor will relay all that. Says there's not just one, there's a lot, and they're all heading towards the village of these small footsteps, and relay everything else about the big creature and traditional blood and all that.
The
Just
trail,
pass all that on.
the trail of the large creature stopped at the forest edge.
Yeah, he'll relay that. So I'm not sure what that means.
And the
but
blood did?
It stops.
If audience is like, we need to hurry. I feel like the village is in danger, and as he says that,
I agree.
he's gonna take
let's
off.
Go.
I'm gonna start jogging.
Dude, wait.
You're like, dude, wait up.
Wait.
No, I'm off.
I'm just like,
gone.
what happened to the big... Alright, whatever, let's go.
All trace, from what Trevor reported from everyone, all trace of the large creature ended at the forest edge.
Like, the blood and everything.
The sap blood and the footsteps of the large creature ends at the forest edge.
as if it disappears, dear.
Disappeared,
Okay.
didn't leave the forest, crossed back to an elemental plane.
Yeah.
In any way,
Trevor will
it
mention
didn't
this thing
leave
is
the
definitely
forest.
magical, so it might have those capabilities. So.
Let's just
Alright, let's go.
hurry to the town.
I'll start
I'm already
dashing.
gone. I'm running.
Yeah. Everybody's trying
how-
to keep up at this point.
How far
Paladin
would have
instincts kicked
been
in.
audience from us before he went going?
Well, when he started to take off, he was with you, but right now, I'd say by the time that you react, he's probably like
Okay.
20 feet, 30 feet ahead of you.
Okay,
Okay,
since
yeah.
we're out of the woods and it's night, what's the moon cycle look like? Do we have a full moon, half moon, quarter moon? Because Trevor's basically blind. Val's guy at this point. Because Toby's got his freaking light stone.
I threw you back the stone.
Oh, you
I don't
did?
have it
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, like I said, there are 2 moons in the sky. So unless it is cloudy, there is moonlight. And right now, since I did say earlier that there were a few moments where Tobiyashi did see the star, it is only partially cloudy.
Right.
So you can fairly easily see, especially on a grazing field.
I have a question.
Yes.
When I use shapeshift,
Shapeshift or wild shape?
Wild shape.
All right.
How tall would I be as a wolf?
With your wild shape?
Yes.
All right.
Or let's say, would I be able to carry a person on me?
Not the persons that you have in your group. If you had a gnome, a halfling, or Sharoon, you would have. But no, you're not quite as big as a horse, but you are very large.
So
Only
not
weigh
even
130 pounds.
Trevor,
I mean, come
because
on, really?
Trevor's really light.
I'm a skinny little fucker.
All right, so let
You
me see.
use Featherfall and hold on to the leash while it's running.
That was going to be my next question when she wild shapes. If I could roll to even see if I understand what's going on. I know the basics of druidic magic, so I would think so, but just want to double check.
All right.
Well, I would say what's the dire wolf's strength score, or are you just turned into a regular wolf?
No, actually, I was actually looking at the stat that I made for the wolf.
I have special.
There you go. That's really the determiner.
Yeah. The strength is high. So how much did you say Trevor weighed?
130.
130. That would be pushing it, but you probably can. But you are almost at the complete limit of the weight that you can carry. If it's 16 of strength.
But I would be able to.
You would be. But it's like wearing a huge backpack.
Now, if she does wild shape, would I understand what the hell is going on since I know the basics of druidic magic?
Well, I wasn't even finished. I would have said something.
Okay, go ahead.
I would have done shape. So would it be able to carry him while being in my form?
You would, however, I'd say athletics or acrobatics roll, I would make you do at disadvantage. Okay. Because you're basically wearing a backpack that is almost to the limit of your carrying capacity.
Okay.
And there's no saddle.
Yeah.
And he basically just has to grab the hair that you have and hold on to it. So he's pulling your hair.
As audience is already setting off to run, I'm quickly abruptly stand still, look at audience, say, I will do something now. Don't be afraid. Jump on my back after I did it, and we'll go, okay?
You're telling this to audience, not Trevor?
Audience or Trevor?
Trevor.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't think that one's going to work.
To Trevor. Did I say audience?
Yeah, you said audience.
Okay, no, Trevor.
Audience is gone.
Yeah, he's probably 100 yards ahead of us at this point.
Do you understand?
Okay. Well, I guess since you said that beforehand, I guess you would be looking for this transformation. So, yeah, he would grab on and ride and be like, and I don't know, how much does he understand about druidic magic? Does he understand wild shapes and stuff?
Make an intelligence roll.
Okay. This will determine his reaction to it. Damn, I'm doing good tonight. 17. It's 4, so 21.
21. You know quite a lot about druids. You know most of their magic, which is very related toward nature. You know that most druid, as they level up and as they gain more power, do learn the ability to change their shape. And you know that some can even adopt the shape of a larger creature, not just small rodents and things like that.
Yeah, and just about time she's wild shape, you're like, holy shit, right on. And he'll jump on, grab the hair, let's go.
All right, Valtteri, you have 2 options. Which one are you transforming as?
Oh god, I don't have the sheet open. Did each of them have different features, right?
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
You can just do a search in the extras for wild shape.
No, it's a special thing of his
creation.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't have it on this
You don't have
laptop.
D&D Beyond, all right.
I don't. No, I have D&D Beyond, but I don't know where to find your thing on the laptop.
What's the name of it? And she could just do a search under extras, and it should show up there.
Full Moon Wolf form or New Moon Wolf form?
Where do I do the extra file?
Yeah, the extras tab.
If it's the same as mine, you have to go into the homebrewed creations.
Well, she should be able to do a search under it, because that's how I found the...
Oh, that's happening.
So, wait,
Go with Full Moon Wolf.
My homebrew collection or creations?
Sorry?
Collection or creations for homebrew?
Let's see.
For me, it's creation.
Let's see if it would be... No, it's
well,
not your
go to your extras and then say add an extra, select wild shape, and then I just did a search for full, and it shows.
I was going to say send her a screenshot and then send it to her.
It shows the full move, the full moon wolf
extra
CR1, CR2.
And there's also a new moon one.
Yeah. Yeah. So just do a search for full or new, and you can decide. Extras, add an extra. Select wild shape, and then you can do a search for full or new.
Okay, so describe very quickly.
There is no moon for me there. I only have the wolf.
The full moon wolf form has dark vision
yes.
and does radiant damage when it hits. The new moon... No, not this. I'm having lag, sorry.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that yours is a homebrew.
The new moon has a blind sight and does necrotic damage.
Well, but the problem is if I go into the new moon, I don't see. I don't have that good of a vision at night.
Blind sight is essentially the capacity to feel things through vibration in the ground, through awareness. However, it is
like
only
sonar, like a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, from different kind of perception. And yeah, this can also be that. However, it is only 30 feet. But this means that while you're in a new moon form, you are completely immune to the darkness effect because you are not reacting to what you can see.
I'll go
into full moon form. It's a dark vision of 120 feet, so you can see very far. But if someone casts darkness, you cannot see through it.
Okay. So as you are like Trevor, as you're standing there, you see me slowly turning into a black wolf. Black wolf.
You see here transform into a large. Well, do you want white or silver as for color? Full moon is white or silver.
Oh, okay. Let's take silver. I want to be fancy.
So you see Valtteri slowly transform into a large silver-furred wolf. I'd say very close to the size of a horse. Not exactly as big as that, but
Not quite dire wolf, but close. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I heard village in trouble, I started running.
Yeah.
I'd start dashing.
How fast
So
am I when
Trevor
I
was
use...
what? Go ahead.
How fast am I when I do sprint as the wolf? Because I don't have the stats right now.
your speed is the same as a wolf, so it's 50 feet.
Okay, so I get 100
if you
feet.
Sprint 100. Holy shit. All right. Trevor would just be like, holy shit, let's go. And he'll jump on and
a lot of the
grab
stats
a
of this
couple
creature are very similar to that of a dire wolf. So
yeah. Cool.
So yeah, I'd
He'll grab a couple of handfuls of fur and say, lead the way.
and she bolts, and very quickly she catches up to audience. And audience, you see a large white wolf, a silver wolf, just bolt and go faster than you, with Trevor riding on it.
And as we pass, he'll say, dude, this is fucking awesome.
And Tobiyashi, as you hear this in the distance, dude, this is fucking awesome. You see this wolf catching up to you and going by, because it is going slightly faster than you. And
I
you see
that
Trevor on it riding.
Just having the fucking time of his life at this point.
My I would just try to keep I'd try to catch up with it, but knowing that I can't because it's a wolf, I'm going to just keep a good distance between me and it. I don't know what it is. What the heck? This thing just popped up. Trevor, what the heck?
You see
Just
Trevor
all of a sudden,
riding it.
Trevor's
So.
riding a freaking wolf the size of a horse.
Half of my ooh thinks I'm magic. Actually.
What the fuck? Did he summon this thing or what?
I
What'd you say, audience?
can barely
Yeah.
hear you. Sam, I can barely hear you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Audience thinks it's cool, so as the wolf goes by him, he's just gonna howl. Like it's a wolf.
You know what?
Like, what?
As a response, you hear the wolf also howl.
Let's go.
All right.
I'm ready.
So the group runs toward what might be goblins under two moons watching them. And we're going to take our break here.
All right.
Alright.
Well, since we're almost definitely running into the battle, I was going to say, as soon as he jumped on and we're riding, he'll go ahead and cast mage armor on himself as we're heading out. So that's 8 hours of a plus to our AC.
Very well.
Which will bring it to, let me double check, I think it's 14. 13 plus dex, so yeah, 14.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and as soon as we come back, well, we might actually have some combat. So see you in 10 minutes, everyone. Bye. See you in 10 minutes.
Alright.
And welcome back, everyone. All right, so the party has been rushing toward danger, as most good adventure do. And apparently, Valtteri and Trevor decided to take the lead and immediately get to town. Village, I should say. So, yes, you easily get to as close as you can to town, to the village, before you start hearing noises. Not inside of the village, but fairly close outside, and you are hearing a few people scream and the definitive sound of sheep screaming for their lives. It is very close by, a bit to your left.
Can I smell whatever attacks it? Like, can I identify?
Yes, you can make a perception roll.
You have to
And I
have
have advantage because I'm smelling.
By the way, you know what helps? You know what helps sheeps?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, don't help sheep's fear. A giant wolf coming into the midst of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
This will definitely help them feel more confident.
Yeah, put them at ease for sure.
That's a 15. And that's a 13. So 15 plus 6. That's a 21.
21. Well, you hear screams, which I do not believe you can understand the goblinoid language.
No.
So you hear small screams that you can't identify, but there is the scent of blood in the air.
Do I send if it's sheep blood, human blood, or other creatures' blood?
With a roll like that, I'd say sheep blood covers any other scent that there might be. So there are already quite a few sheep that have been slaughtered. Might be a human, but there's so much sheep blood that you can't make out anything, any details.
Well,
Okay.
I was gonna say once we got into town, Tao would kind of head up a little bit to kind of circle around.
Well, it's not
100 feet and
in
see what he sees.
town, correct?
You're
It's
not in town yet. You're just before town.
It's
You are
happening.
it's in the grazing field that is the closest to the village.
I guess Trevor would still send Tao up, and I don't know if we're 100 feet away or not, but he would send him as close up and out as he could to kind of see if he could get a gauge.
Most
of what-
likely when you see Valtteri stop really sharply and then start sniffing the air, I'm pretty sure you would have the reflex of sending Tao up.
Yeah.
I thought I was
Okay.
smelling while running.
Yeah, I'd already rolled with advantage. It was a 16
Well-
plus 3, so 19.
You're almost there.
Perception.
So I would
Yeah.
expect that you would stop.
Well, I wouldn't stop like. I would
Yeah,
slow.
throw
I would,
Trevor just take a tumble right in front of her there,
I would go.
All right.
Come off.
Start getting slower and
Yeah.
slower.
All right. So. All right. You turn and head toward the blood. Tobiyashi, as you are the closest to her, you do see her rather far ahead. Stop and then slowly turn around. Sorry, you didn't stop. It's just an image that I get in my head. So you see her starting to deviate slowly toward your left. You're not sure why, but you do see her slowly start to move toward the left. Audience, this is really at the limit of your visibility range. However, it is a plane and it has a fair amount of light. So you do see this silvery dot further up of the field slowly start to run toward its left.
Can I still see? Can I? Well, okay. When I look back, can I see audience?
How far were you planning to move away from audience, or did you not have that in mind?
Oh well, I was trying to keep up a little bit with them, so I was probably quite a distance away from audience.
All right, so these are grazing field. They're fairly flat, and you're going slightly up. So I'd say yes, you can probably make him out when in the darkness, especially with the moons above you. So, and he's, brass colored, so he stands out a little bit.
Okay. I'll just scream back, "Keep following!" And I'll run as fast as I can.
So,
Trying to
like
go
I
her
said,
direction.
audience, you hear something. Make a perception check.
I mean, how much slower am I than Toby? Toby, what speed do you run at?
Tobiyashi is
I think
10
he's
feet.
40.
40 speed.
Okay,
So
40
10
to 10.
And if I'm dashing,
Yeah.
Well, I would also be dashing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but still, every turn he'd get 20
It's
feet
twice
away
20
from
feet
you.
around, yeah.
Yeah.
20 feet every 10
Although I
seconds.
did start with
6
some
seconds.
lead.
Yeah, he did.
15.
15. All right, you do hear Tobiyashi scream, to follow him, and you do see far ahead of everyone this little silvery dot slowly starting to deviate to the left.
All right. I'll continue to follow.
You're not 500 feet behind everyone. Maybe you're 100, 120 feet behind everyone.
Yeah. I'm doing my best.
For once, he's not in the lead.
Just clanking around, you know.
All right. So, Valtteri and Trevor, you get to this smell of blood before everyone else. And the moment you enter into this grazing field, you see a human dragging another one away from the field. One of the humans seems to be severely injured. The other one seems to be lightly injured, but he's trying to pull away. You do see one goblin who is trying to run after him, but for all of the other goblins, you see maybe quickly like this, you can count maybe 8 goblins, and they are mutilating the sheeps. They're not killing them, they're mutilating them.
Well, I was going to say, Trevor would take a human life over a sheep, so I guess he'll, I don't know, if he can shoot a firebolt at the one that's chasing the human, dragging the other one away at least.
What's the maximum range? What's the maximum range of firebolt?
Yeah, because that was going to be my next question. How far away are they? Check firebolt. That is 120 feet.
So you could cast it while I'm still running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you got into range, I'm sure he would recognize about the distance there.
I'd say it is at the limit of your range, but I think you can reach the goblin chasing the human trying to escape.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we need to roll initiative on it, but I don't think it matters because Tal would get to there to give me advantage in time. So I would say I'd at least send him over to the ones attacking the sheep while I shot at the one chasing the human.
Well, definitely, if you send Tao, I really will say that everyone should get into initiative because you're basically initiating combat, burning, surprise.
Okay.
Because suddenly there's an owl coming at them and attacking them.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I would send him probably most likely to the others attacking the sheep. I didn't know
Where
if we
do I
needed to
find
roll
my
initiative
if I have an initiative bonus?
It'd be just on your main,
Right on the main
part of the
page.
character sheet there, right next to your AC.
Yeah,
No, she
I don't
means for
have
the
it.
wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be whatever your dex modifier is.
Yeah, you use the dexterity modifier of the wolf.
It's in plus 2. I have a not natural 20.
Oh shit, I got a natural 20 on that. Okay. Well, that was for Trevor. Now I will roll for Tal now.
I also have a
Which is-
unnatural 20.
Which is
We are
a lot
rolling
worse,
initiative.
Which is a plus.
Yeah.
8 plus. Let me see what his dex is. 9 for Tal.
That is a 7.
And
There
Trevor
you go.
got
30 starting.
what?
Trevor got a natural 20. Tal got a 9.
Okay. And natural
What's your,
20.
what's your
adds
dex
to what?
audience?
Non-natural 20.
Oh,
Plus-
non-natural 20. Okay.
But for Trevor,
Oh.
natural 20 plus your dexterity, that gives what?
Oh, which would be 21.
All right. And they have. All right. So, because it is a. Oh, wow. Oh, all right. Well, no, it's. They actually saw you coming. So.
I mean,
I could kind of imagine that.
giant
Yeah.
wolf, and you heard him howl before. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's-
And Trevor yelling, "This is fucking awesome!" as he's
Also-
freaking rolling out here.
Did you ever deactivate your stone?
No, it's good for an hour, so you still we still got it.
The stone has been non-functioning for now. You've
Oh,
left.
okay.
You've
I was
left.
going to say it's good for an hour, but it's not concentration, so I don't know.
It's been more than an hour since you made it.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
was assuming that you were just making it again because you spent
Yeah,
almost
I
3
would.
hours in the woods.
Yeah. It's just an action, so yeah, he would keep casting it to whoever had it at the
I was gonna say,
time.
then you still have it on.
Okay. Yeah. So we still got this bright 20-foot radius light source around the wolf as well. So
And they got a natural 20 on their perception.
there we go. Yeah.
All right, so and
attacking?
they got a very good initiative. Wow. Well, they actually have the initiative on that, so they start.
Okay.
Wait, what?
They have 22 for initiative.
Oh dear.
So one ahead of me.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
even though
Yes.
Trevor has a natural 20.
They got a natural 20 also.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
then it defaults to the dex modifier, and goblins are
Okay.
kind of dexterous.
Yeah.
Okay.
almost as much as me. Probably
So,
more.
I play one on Saturday, so
Yeah.
all right. So the goblins have a 22 for initiative, so they go first. As they suddenly all see you, and there are. All right, we're gonna start with this. So the one that is chasing the human doesn't take or doesn't react to you. The others, however, 3 of them suddenly turn and draw bows and start firing at you two.
okay.
Oh, Trevor, do you unmount Valtteri or do you stay on?
Currently, I would probably stay on.
Then you're the only target because technically Valtteri is sort of a horse right now.
That's fine. See what they got. I'm good.
Alright.
I've still got 2 spell slots.
I mean, he has thing mage armor on, so.
Yeah.
Yes,
I got
yes. and
14, plus I got shield, so.
the first one being a natural 1 for a tree, so I do believe that the arrow simply misses you.
Yep.
Goes through his hair as drifting through the
The
wind.
second one fires with a 16.
I will cast shield for my second spell slot there, so that brings me to. What's that, 14, 15, 19
19.
for the rest of the round.
And the third arrow comes toward you with an 18.
Yep.
So the shield
Yep,
blocks
still
the
misses.
2 arrows which would have hit. So this is 3, 4, and the other 4 ones are running toward you. However, they do not run fast enough to catch you, as there is a 140 feet distance to cover.
Okay.
So you have 4 of them running toward you, Valtteri and Trevor. Next one is Trevor.
All right. Let me see. And I'm within range of the one chasing the human.
Yes, and because the human is dragging his friend, the goblin did manage to catch him and attack him. However, he missed with another natural 1.
Okay. Does it cost an action or a bonus action to dismount? I'm not sure about that.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I never looked at
Yeah,
that.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. Yeah.
I mean, you would be fast.
I'd say it's an
I
action.
mean, you could just tell me where to go. Like, I can't talk, but you can still
Well-
tell me what to do.
Yeah, you can understand, but you can't speak it.
I
don't
could,
know.
like, walk, or, like, if you tell me where to run, I could do that. So you don't have to dismount, just saying.
Okay.
I'd
Fair
say
enough.
that properly dismounting a horse would take an action. When
Okay.
you look at how it's done,
All right.
Yeah, that takes
I'll-
some time.
Yeah. I'll stay on then, and as a free action, I'll say head towards the 4 over there, and I will fire a firebolt at the one going after the human there.
Very well.
Which is a straight roll because Tao's not up yet. So.
Yes.
Let's see, what's my spell attack? That's a 10 plus 16.
16. 16 does hit.
All right, so firebolt, I believe, is a plus 10. Yeah, from D10. So that'll be a 3 damage to the
3 damage.
Yeah.
So you turn around and you gather the energy in your hand, you fire, you hit the goblin. However, the goblin does not fall from that damage. He, however, he feels it because they're not very sturdy creature. He feels it, and you can hear him from this cry out. "Ah!" You hear him utter something in a language that you do not understand.
Yeah.
And now he is looking straight at you.
All right. I don't know if I get any more talk time in my movement, but I'll say get the one after the human, if I can.
To whom are you saying this?
I'm just yelling it in general to whoever can hear it. Audience, Toby, whoever's behind us there. I'm not saying it quietly.
So next in this initiative would be Audience and Valtteri. I believe that Valtteri has the higher dexterity.
I have +2.
Yeah.
No, I have higher.
You have higher dexterity, so you
Holy shit!
Spend the round running.
Yep, I run 60 feet. I'm dashing.
Yes.
That's 3.
So I guess I'll be probably running towards where I see them.
Yes. Which you will get in about 5 turns.
Oof.
You were about 120 feet behind Tobiyashi, which himself was just a bit under. So no, 3 turn. You'd get there in 3 turns. Yeah.
All right, so that's one of my turns. I have 2 turns left. All right, moving on.
So Valtteri, what do? You have actually someone on your back.
Yes, and because he first told me to head to the other 4, but then he screamed head to the one chasing the human. You see like a wolf first running at the others, but then running at the guy who is chasing the...
Alright, well, the goblin chasing the human is 120 feet away from where you are, so you would have to spend all of your movement to almost reach him.
Yeah, that's okay.
Alright. So you also spend all of your movement trying to catch up with this goblin.
I mean, I didn't got any further information, so that is what I will do.
Yeah. Alright. The next in turn is Tao.
Alright. Let's see. I would definitely say Trevor takes the priority over humans than the sheep. So he would go after the one chasing the human, and
all right,
just basically give him advantage. So
distract him, whoever is attacking.
Since he can't attack. So
very well.
Let me double check, make sure what his movement is. 60 feet. So whether it be if he can get there within a turn and then use the help action for the next attack, or if he needs to use the dash.
I believe the help action will last until the beginning of his next turn.
Yeah.
So since he's almost the last one, he will be able to help whomever attacks that.
Okay. I don't know if he needed to use the dash to actually get to him or not. So,
right. since he is flying probably very close to you, and you did send him.
Yeah, I would have commanded him to do that on my
command.
turn. So, yeah.
What is the flight speed of Tau?
Check. I think it's 50. No, 60 feet.
60 feet, so he does
Yeah.
actually get there.
Okay.
Barely, but
So-
he does. But he's
So
not going
next
to be able...
person, next person to attack him has advantage then, and that's it.
Yeah, but he can't take the action because he used his action to get there.
Oh, if he had to use the dash to get there, then then the round after somebody will have advantage.
All right. So, Tobiyashi,
Hey.
you are the
Okay.
last one on the list, and you are about 100 and nearly 200 feet away from the human trying to leave the battle.
Okay, so a dash action does what again?
A dash action adds your speed to your current movement. So you have
Okay.
40. If you dash, you have 80.
80.
And if you use Step of the Wind, you can also push this to 120 feet.
Damn.
Monk shit.
I think I'm just gonna go the 80 and wait.
All right.
I'll get there soon enough.
Yeah, with 80, you would most likely get there in the middle of not the next round, but the one after that. During the round. And then a round and a half later, audience will get there. So basically, you'll have to spend your next turn moving, and the turn after that, you will be able to engage.
Okay. From
Yes.
here, exactly how far away is the guy from me?
The human trying to save his friend is 110 feet, 115 feet.
And okay, I'll just stay.
All right, then the initiative goes back to
The stupid
goblins.
goblins.
yes. So the goblin right in front of you, Valtteri and Trevor, is going to attack you, and since it acts as he believes that you are a mount, he's going to attack Trevor. With a natural 2. So, yes, he looks at Trevor, angry from the burn of the fire, takes out his... he already has his scimitar. He looks at the scimitar and swing and missed so wide, you're not sure what he was trying to do. So you managed to dodge out of this with the help of Valtteri, nimbly just jumping to the side. The other ones. So you hear a few words spoken in Goblin, and immediately you see two goblins with bows trying to run toward Tobiyashi and audience, followed behind them by two not range goblin. There's no other way to call them, though.
They're running towards us. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you have two with bows and two with scimitars running, or with longsword scimitars for goblin, running toward Tobiyashi and audience, and one with bow and two with scimitars going toward Valtteri and Trevor. And so, the one with bow starts to take aim and fire at Valtteri and Trevor for a...
Bring it on.
19. You got to beat a 19 if you're aiming at me.
Like 20,
yes,
20,
because
20,
your
20.
turn hasn't come again, so you still have
I haven't started my
So
turn
it
yet.
is a 16. The
Nope.
magical shield deflects the arrow. The two others do not have time to reach you, but they do spend all of their action running toward you. And so do all of the other ones. The four other going toward Tobiashi and audience run toward you. The two with bows, however, just run the distance and then take a knee, take an arrow out, and start aiming, waiting for you to get in range. So after this, we go to Valtteri and audience. Audience, again, you spent your
run.
You run as fast as you can.
Give him inspiration to run.
So I'm now close enough to get to that goblin, right?
Oh yes, you are in. He actually made the distance and attacked Trevor, so he's just in front of you.
I'll bite him.
Go ahead, bite his ass off.
Wait, there... Wait, what is the... Is there a modifier for rolling the d20 when you attack? Would it be strength?
Hey, question. Since I'm mounted and within 5 feet of the creature, does that give her advantage for pack tactics?
And you and there is also Tau next to it, so yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So,
Question.
You use the statistic of the wolf you are using, so the wolf has a +5 to hit.
Another question. Does your wolf have horns?
The wolf does not have horns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
what color is
so-
it? Is it purple like Val, or
so what is the modifier again when I attack something? With my strength modifier, or...?
No, actually, because you're in wolf form, you use the statistic of the wolf, and the wolf has a +5 to hit.
Okay. And my pack tactics give me advantage.
If an ally is close, and you have Trevor and Tau, which are on the goblin.
Because I can roll twice.
Yes, you roll with advantage.
Oh, thank God, because I just rolled a natural one. And that's a 16.
16 hits.
Okay.
Roll for damage, which is a d10 +3 radiant damage.
Oh my God, I can finally use my d10. Is that the d10? Yes, that's the d10.
Oh, dusty.
That's a 7. Plus a 3.
10?
That's a 10. And they have to do
Strength save or be knocked prone?
Strength save.
Strength save, yes.
Well, actually, he doesn't get to that. You just bite into him and start shaking him, and he just falls limp like a rag doll in your mouth. And you just let him fall to the ground. He's dead. And
That was too short of fun.
and even as you bit it, because of the radiant damage, when you chopped down on him, you even saw this small flash of light. And as you just shook him, it sort of made like those little fireworks that you can twirl in the air. So
a sparkler or whatever. Yeah.
So you just you saw this sparkling white energy just being trashed around just in front of her nose, making those lovely tracks, and you just let it fall to the ground. Shredded, dead from radiant damage, still burning in his wounds.
Nice.
Next.
Wait, how much movement do I still have?
He
I
was
still have
on
my-
you still
Okay.
have 50 feet of movement.
Am I sure that the humans are safe so they won't get attacked again?
Sure.
Okay,
As
then
far-
I will...
As far as you can see, yes, they are. Sure, well, there are still one of those with arrows, and you don't know, there might be another group of goblins.
Then I would go to the nearest, like I would take my 50 feet to get as close to the nearest goblin from where we are standing.
Yeah, sure. So you get closer to those actually those who were trying to chase you down. So you actually will meet almost. You will be within 10 feet of the two with scimitars that were running toward you. So now we go to Tao, which is currently hovering above a dead body.
Over a corpse, yeah. Well, I can't command him until my turn, so I guess he's pretty much stuck there. So,
all right. So we go to Tobiyashi.
Me already? Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So
you still have to run for another round to catch up. However,
right.
Where you are right now, you do have a choice to go. They're about the same distance, so you do have a choice to go toward those who seem to be intentionally running toward you, or those that Valtteri is running toward too.
I'll start running towards. She probably has it, so I'll start running, or it probably has it, whatever the thing is.
Yeah, he actually doesn't know if that is me. That's true. They don't know that.
Yeah, instead of going for that group, I'm gonna start attacking that because I want to be far away from that.
Right.
Or I'll start running towards them.
All right. So the beginning of the next turn, you will be able to attack.
You can see me dash.
Yeah. Unless you want to use
Dart.
Step of the Wind, which means you would actually get to them, but you wouldn't be able to attack. You would just be able to get to them.
Yeah. No. Wait. How far are they from me? If I ran, like just ran the 40.
Just the 40 or the 80?
Yeah. The 40. If I just ran the 40. 40 feet away.
More like 50, 55.
Okay. Okay, yeah, alright, yeah, I'm just gonna run the 80.
Alright. So we go back to the goblins. So the one with the... Well, actually now he has a choice because he just saw one of his friends get mauled by a giant wolf. So he's going to have to choose between the wolf or Trevor.
I probably still have the body in my mouth because I never said that.
I still got my shield too, so yeah. If you want to pick me, go ahead.
Well, actually, the round... If we're going back to the goblin, the round finished.
Oh, something that
so
would
you
have
don't
been
have the
really...
shield anymore.
I haven't had my turn yet.
Something that would be really cool for the wolves if they can like growl or something to like terrify.
I know Tal didn't have his turn until I have mine, till I can command him.
Right,
so
well,
I still have my shield technically.
Did you go?
Well, no. In that case, I'm very sorry I missed you. So, but you would have taken your turn before Valtteri would have started moving, meaning.
Oh, okay. Right.
You are in range of firing a firebolt toward one of those running toward you. But unless you get off of the wolf, well, that's
right back.
So when your turn came,
disadvantage.
When you're no, there's no disadvantage. I'd say for the.
Well, I don't know. Well, you said if I got off, so I don't know if it was beyond 120 feet or not.
That's just for the option. No, actually, since they've been running toward you, I did say that Valtteri decided to go toward them, and she would be in range next turn, meaning that they were maybe at 60, 70 feet away from you. So you could have turned and shoot at one, or ask Tao to do something.
All right. Well, I can command Tao as a bonus action, so I will send him over that way. I imagine he can't get there without a dash action. So
no, and anyway, he's going to take his turn later on. So you order him, but he's not moving.
Yeah. So I would go ahead. Yeah. How many's over there? You said like 4.
There's 3 of them coming toward you. 2 with scimitars, 1 with bow, and there are 4 going toward the audience and Tobiashi.
Okay. Since he's going to have to use his dash regardless, I would go ahead and send him to the one furthest away from us to gain advantage on that one. And I will just shoot a firebolt at the one closest to me.
The one furthest from you is the one firing with the bow, because he can actually he does it with disadvantage, but he can fire you from quite a distance. So he wouldn't be able to reach that one.
Gotcha. All right. Well, the closest one he could with his dash action, I'd say.
So it would be one of the 2 with scimitars running toward you.
Okay. And then the one closest to us, he would shoot the firebolt at.
It's almost the same thing. The 2 of them are one beside another. So
basically
it's
side
the
by
same
side. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So it's just a straight roll. Damn, 18 plus 6, so that's like a 24.
It does hit.
All right. It's a D10. Oh, that's a little better. 6.
6, you hit him square on. He does take quite a lot of damage. He doesn't fall dead, however, he does stumble and take a knee, and you see the injury is very close to his heart. He seems to have a little bit of trouble keeping his resolve to fight.
Well, I'm sure he won't understand it by yelling in common. Hurts, don't it?
All right.
As I'm still clinging on to Val, running towards them.
All right. Well, since you were the one that we forgot in this initiative, we are going back to the goblins now, who are taking their turn. And the one with the bow, I'd say, where did my dice go?
Wait, what about me?
You did take your turn. I'm sorry. It's because we went over Trevor.
Okay.
The funny thing is that I didn't forget to go. I didn't forget Tao, because I remember Trevor saying that he doesn't move.
Yeah, you remember Tao, but forgot me. Yeah, that's funny.
That's a big move.
All right, so the one with the bows and arrows actually tries to fire at Valtari. And with a natural 1, what does happen with a natural 1 of this type? I'd say if it's... All right. So he fires and completely missed. The arrow goes very wide. The 2 other one with scimitars, they look at one another and they say something. The one that is severely injured tries to move off. Go as far as he can.
Were they next to us, or?
No, there were about 30. Oh, goodness. You were in range for you, so they were about 30 feet away from you.
Guess I couldn't have done a reaction if they would have.
No. They're still going toward you. But the one that is injured is trying to go away. And he is using all of his movement to try and leave. And as soon as he gets to where there is a little depression in the hill, you see him go flat on the ground, and he tries to hide.
Okay.
It's what are you?
Wait, tries. Does she get a perception check to try and counter it, or?
I'm actually looking at the passive perception of everyone.
Well, my perception thing on the advantage thingy only goes for smelling and hearing, so seeing is not an option.
So, what is your natural passive perception for your character?
It's a 16.
All right. For Trevor,
I think it's like 13.
Yeah. So Trevor, you see the goblin go flat on the ground, and you lose sight of him. Valtteri, you also lose sight of him.
Okay, can I use... Would it be an action if I would look for him?
Yes, looking for him would
Okay.
be an action on
Fetch.
your turn. And
Okay.
right now I'm only using the passive perception. So he beat your passive perception with his stealth roll.
Okay. I will keep in my head that there was a goblin just disappearing, which are probably hiding, so...
The other one with the centaur does run toward you and try to take a hit.
Quick question: was that the
Yes.
one that Tao was heading towards, or not?
Tao was beside each of them.
Okay.
So
I
you-
didn't know if that was the exact one that I picked or the one beside him. I wasn't sure, so just checking.
There were really one beside the other, so Tao would have been
I'll just
between
leave
the
it at
two,
that,
and
yeah.
so
Try to get any help I can here, so.
that's all right. Well, to get it for perception, that wouldn't have helped you because he started to run away. Tao would still have been there. You wouldn't have been able to run away with him.
All right. Well, trying to get a perception check with him since he has advantage, so. Yeah.
All right. So the other one runs towards Valtteri and tries to take a swing with his scimitar with an 18.
No, that hits.
That hits.
If you said 18, yeah, that hits.
Yes, I did say 18. So it is a 7 points of damage
Oh shit, now I have to write that down because I can't...
because the hit points of the.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe you are at 49 right now because it's 56.
I have 38 in total.
38. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong. No, but the beast.
Yeah, the beast has... It says hit points 38, 5d10
Oh.
plus 10.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong DC one.
No problem. So that's 38 minus 7. Okay.
Alright, so this one does attack you and hits with 7, which means you are at 31 right now. The one already took a shot, miss wide. Alright, so the one's going toward audience and Tobiyashi. They're actually not gonna move. And the two with bows and arrows will draw their bow and wait for you to come.
Question.
Yes.
Grapple is an attack action, right?
Throwing an apple?
I said grappling. Is
Grappling!
an attack action.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. And it counts as
Okay.
an attack action.
Just asking.
So
Toby, the fruit and veggie thrower.
Yes.
we're gonna give him proficiency at one point. All right, so we go with audience. You keep running. You'll be
Proficiency
there
in
next
improvised
round.
weapons
He
as long as
said-
it's a vegetable.
I'll be there next round.
So next round you can start trying to hack and slash.
Wait for me.
Actually,
Tobiyashi?
can I get within 30 feet? Can I get within 30 feet of them?
I'd say just about, but you will have to use action and movement.
Damn, the one that's been
Okay,
leading the
never
charge
mind
is
then.
the
Yeah, so I'll just
last
run.
one to get into combat here.
There's
He'll
still
finish
four.
everything off.
I
I mean,
doubt
I
very
did-
much that Tobiyashi will be able to kill both.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I did a good job so far.
Yeah.
All four of
And
them.
Trevor's been doing a good job just taunting them. Say, bitch, hit me. Come on, try.
We're the rain before the storm.
So Tobiyashi, it is your turn. Actually, Tao. It is Tao's turn.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, does he have the action to... Yeah, he would. Yeah, because he used his dash the previous turn. So, yeah, he can give advantage on the next attack this turn.
All right.
So, yeah, that's what he'll do. Just give the help on it.
So Tobiyashi, you actually see the 4 goblins waiting for you. 2 of them with bows and arrows, 2 of them with scimitar. They are intently waiting for you to come to get them.
Okay. The one that is what's the closest one to me?
The 2 with scimitars.
Okay. So first things first is I'm gonna take off. Well, not take it off, but unwrap the wrap that's on my hand, and I'm gonna grab it like this, and I'm going towards him. I'm gonna grapple one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna grapple the one on the left, I guess, and then I'm gonna turn him towards the one on the right, and then yeah, let me make the grapple action first.
Yes, do the grapple action.
That is strength, right?
Yes.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Well, then you grapple him with no effort. He does try to resist, but his roll is way lower than this. So you grapple him very easily.
Okay, so after that, I'm going to wait. I gotta go back to my actions. I'm going to use my. So. No, yeah, no, not that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay like that until the next turn. So, yeah, I'll stay in a ready position, covered by the goblin, or strangling the goblin. Strangling the goblin.
Well, you did say you were grappling him, so most likely because you used bandages, you got close to him and you wrapped it around him or around his wrists. But if you're strangling him, that would actually probably cause damage. So right now he is completely restrained.
Okay. And that's it.
And that's it. And that means that the two with bows and arrows get a ready action to shoot at you.
Okay.
The first one with an 18.
An 18, yes, it hits.
And the second
Directly
one
in the face.
And the second one with a 6.
That one misses.
So the one that hits you only does 3 points of damage. He shoots at you, and the arrow just grazes your shoulder.
Yeah. All right. Well, wait, what?
And the other one, because you grappled one, and there's another one just beside you, the other one with a scimitar does take an attack on you, because that's what he was waiting for.
Okay.
And it is it is a 16.
That hits.
That hits. So he sees you grappling his friend, and he yells something in Goblin, and cleave a large strike in you for a 7 points of damage.
Okay. I'll accept that.
All right, we go back to that was the top of the initiative. So, Trevor.
Yep. Okay.
You are still on Valtari. There is one coming toward you.
Which one is there? One in range that Tau attacked to give me advantage on, or was that already used?
No, nobody attacked that goblin.
All right. Shit! I can hold on to the dice. Okay. I'm gonna hold on to my spell slot. I'll just shoot a firebolt at advantage on the one that Tal is attacking to give me advantage. That definitely hits. 15 plus 6. So.
15 plus 6? Yes, it does.
Yeah, for sure. For 9 fire damage.
9 fire damage. You see him running toward you, and you aim carefully. The energy gathers. You release, and you see the bolts hit him square on the head. You see his feet leave the ground, falls to the ground on his back, slide just a little bit on the grass, which is starting to be a little moist because it's the middle of the night, and he doesn't move. He is dead.
All right. in my best Jesse Pinkman voice, I'll say, "Yeah, bitch," and then send as a bonus action, send Tao to the next closest one to give advantage.
So he, whoops.
I'm pretty sure he's within 50 feet or 60 feet. So, yeah, 20
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, no problem. So he's going toward
Alright.
the one with the bow.
All right, gotcha. With the bow.
So we get Audience and Valtteri. Valtteri, do you
All
mind
right.
if Audience goes first because he's been waiting for a while?
He can. Well, he is first anyways. He has a higher roll.
Yes,
Kinda,
yes,
so
sorry.
go
All
for
right,
it.
so Audience, you are within 30 feet of the two goblins with scimitar. One is grappled by Tobiyashi and the other one is hitting Tobiyashi.
I'm gonna run up to the one that's hitting Tobiyashi and take a good swing at him.
Go ahead. Cleave that
Excited.
sucker.
I get to hit people. This is what my character wants. Let's see if I actually roll well now. Oh, hey, look, I do, because we're in combat. That's going to be a 24.
Yes, it does.
Hey,
Roll for damage.
Alright. That's what. So, where's my. 1d8 is right here. Alright, so that's going to be 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. He doesn't even see you coming. He hears footsteps. He starts turning around and you hit him square on with enough power to lift him off the ground and just push him back a few feet. He falls to the ground with his stomach completely open. He's dead.
I turn to Toby. I'm like, I'm here. I'm kind of panting. What's up?
I'm restraining this one. Thank you for coming.
All right. Valtteri, what did you do? You see one with a bow, maybe at the limit of your actual range, 50 feet away. He's starting to take aim at either you or Trevor.
Well, first I'm gonna spit out the body I still have in my mouth. And I'll actually go to the dude with the bow and bite him.
Then go ahead.
And I still have advantage.
Because there is Tao and there's Trevor,
yep,
yes.
Trevor, yep.
And you said a +5 with this.
Yes.
Okay.
The joys of mounted
That's a
combat.
16. That's an 11, so 16 it is. That's
That
21.
is enough. That is
And
enough. You hit. Roll for damage.
Yes. That's a 9 +3. That's 12.
You get right in front of him. He sees you opening your mouth, and you hear a few words other than goblin, and then you just chomp on him. Eat him up. Shaking him up like a rag doll, with the radiant energy exploding from your mouth. And actually, from here, audience, you can probably see this. You know what a radiant energy is. You see this explosion of radiant energy coming from the mouth of this creature who is tearing up this poor goblin.
I'm like, dope.
I've
That's what I like to see.
I have a question. How tall are these goblins?
Goblins are small creatures, so they are around 2.5 and 3 feet tall, I believe.
Perfect. Okay. Whose turn is it?
Audience, and it's Tao turn.
Okay.
All right. Well, he's still given advantage on the one beforehand, or has he died already?
No, right now he's giving advantage to a corpse.
Okay. Well, I guess he would move to the next closest one if he's within 60 feet.
60 or 120?
Well, that's what I need to know. Does he need to use the attack dash
Yes,
action to get to him? Okay, then
he
he'll
would
do
get to
that,
have
and
to use
then
the dash action to get to the archers firing on audience and Tobiashi.
okay, well he'll do that, and then his next turn
Wait.
they'll get advantage.
Yes.
Wouldn't the one hiding can Tao see him?
Oh yeah, actually, would Tao get a perception check to see if he could find him?
If he
He
uses
gets
action for that,
advantage.
yes.
Sure, because then he could still use his movement. I mean, it'd still be the same
Yeah.
turn, but it'd be the closest one. Yeah, he sees it. That's a 19 plus 3, so 18 and 19. So
So he is a 19 and he
plus
has
3, so that'd be 22 total.
22. So actually, yes, he does manage to barely see him. He was able to keep hiding and keep going. He is slowly, creepily moving away.
Okay, how far away is he from when Tao did that action?
30 feet.
Okay, all right. Well, he'll just use his movement to get on top of him, and next turn he'll give advantage to the next attacker.
Okay.
All right.
So, Tobiashi, it's your turn.
Okay, since I have this goblin all strangled, well, not strangled, but secured, I would take what I have left of my thing and have it in my hand and wrap it. I'll wrap it around his neck and kind of try to hold him up to where it's giving me a little cover from the arrows. And I try to break his neck while I do it.
No, you actually try. You're just trying to use him as a meat shield, essentially.
Yes, wrapped up in my silk.
Well, yes, that's very easy to do. You just have to step around him to make sure that he's in front of you. So, yeah, I'd say he is going to try. No, it's not his turn yet. So, yes, you can easily make that small maneuver.
Okay, while I'm doing that, I wrap it around his neck and I lift him up and start my movement forward towards the arrow people.
I'd say still make a strength check. Yeah.
Yes.
He is trying to
Resist.
resist. He's trying to.
18.
Yeah, that beats whatever he just rolled. So
Yes.
you manage to lift him up as a shield in front of you and are slowly making your way toward those firing with the arrows.
Yes.
And so we go back to the goblins. So, the goblin who has just been made by Tao turns toward Tao and shoots it with a bow and arrow.
All right. I've been waiting for that.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
It hits
Oh no.
and hits him.
I should have continued the movement, but that's all right. Yeah.
Grab
Oh,
the arrow.
goodness. He hits him for 3 hit points.
Let me double check and see what the hell his hit points is. Oh no, he's only got 1. So yeah, he's
They
So
only have
he
one.
turns toward Tao, looks at you, looks at him, and let the arrow go, and you see Tao disappear in a puff of smoke.
Yep. Okay. No problem. I've been waiting for that.
And you see the goblin move away and use his nimble escape feature. And again,
Disengage. Yeah.
well, actually, he used it to disengage or hide. So he is, again, going stealthily.
Gotcha.
So he disappears from your perception.
Even mine.
Actually, he did. Wow. Yeah, I forgot about the +6 they had. He disappears from everyone's perspective. He
Good.
just falls flat on the ground and you can't see him anymore. Alright, so the two going toward you. Alright, so the two goblins aiming toward Tobiashi and audience. Because they don't want to hit the one that is still alive, because they sort of realize that there's only a them left, they all turn toward audience and fire at him.
Oh. Want to hit the shield, I guess.
The first one tries to hit you with a 12.
Nope.
The second one tries to hit you with a 23.
Yeah, 23 is gonna hit.
23 hits. So he fires at you. Yes, you are. For a 3 points of damage. The arrow barely grazes you. Looks like he is nervous. And it is Trevor's turn.
All right. I'm pretty sure there's something within 120 feet of me, so I'll shoot a firebolt at whatever's closest.
2 goblins firing arrows at Tobiyashi, holding one in front of him as a shield.
Okay, yeah, that's a straight roll since Tao's dead at the moment.
It is. Hit the one I'm holding.
No, that's probably going to be a fail. That's a 8 total.
Yes, you fire and the bolt goes wide. However, you did attract their attention, and now they are aware that their fellows goblin failed in their assault on you, and they are alone in front of the boat of all of them.
And Trevor just yelled, fuck, and then give him the finger at the same time.
They just see multiple goblin bodies, one still hanging out of the wolf's mouth.
Yep. And Trevor yells, fuck, and gives him the finger at the same time, like, bring it on, bitch.
All
I've
right.
still got a spell slot.
Next on the initiative is audience.
Alright. Are
They're
the golems in a line with each other? Or are they...
They're one beside the other, and they're 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
They're firing with arrows.
I'm going to use my breath attack on them. So they have to succeed a...
Yeah, alright. If you use all of your movement, you can
Well, they're 30 feet. They're 30 feet, which my breath goes 30 feet.
Yeah, yeah, but how wide is it?
Are they, like, right next to each other?
Yes.
Then it would hit.
Okay.
I think.
I'm pretty sure it's 15 or 10 feet.
Yeah. Where's my...
I believe brass is a lightning bolt that flies from him.
I mean, yeah, it's a line, so maybe not. Like, it might only still, even if they're next to each
However,
other.
if you do use your movement to move to give you an angle on them, you could.
Okay, I'll do that then. So I'll try and hit both. So it's a Dex DC 12 that they have to succeed on.
One misses, one hit.
Okay, and then 2d6. So 6. Okay, I rolled 2 6s. So 12. So one takes 6 and one takes 12.
Alright, well, one of them didn't even see it coming. He just gets fried by a flash of energy. The other one...
I hope they don't see it coming. It's lightning. I hope they're...
Well, there is a small moment where you open your mouth and we see energy gathering in it. So he really didn't even see that. He was looking at Tobiyashi, didn't notice you, just moving slightly to the side, preparing to fire, and then splash, get hit. Completely toasted. He is still smoldering. The other one just managed to see this coming, tries to jump toward the ground. However, most of the hit still gets him, and he is badly burned by the lightning strike. He is still alive, but he is on his knees. Apparently, he looks like someone who has lost the will to fight. Valtteri.
Yes.
You're looking at a goblin badly burned by a lightning strike. With his bow on the ground, he's panting. He's looking directly at audience. He is within range for you to run at him if you want.
Well, I want to revenge Tao. I'm pissed about that, so I'm gonna look for that asshole who shot Tao.
Alright, make a perception roll.
And I'm also going to use hear and smell to smell that, or hear if he's walking around, so I get an advantage on that. That's a 10 and natural 20.
That's funny. Yeah,
For a total of
Wait, what was
Oh,
my
boy.
perception? Plus 6, that's a 26.
26. You managed to pick up his scent.
Oh, I follow that scent.
You follow it. Well, yeah, you still have your movement. And you get right on him. He is trying to creepily move away. However, since he did use his action to fire, he is within your 50 feet. So you are right beside him.
And I can't attack anymore because I use
You
my
use an action,
But
yes.
can I put my paw on him so he can't run away?
No, that would be a grapple.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you are standing right beside him. You're seeing him, but no one else is. All right, so this
Can I
is...
lightly growl to get Trevor's attention because is he still on my
Oh
shoulder?
yeah, I'm still riding you, I guess. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I would pick that up at least.
I'm lightly growling.
Well, yeah, Trevor, going to give you... Trevor with a... Oh my god. I was going to say I'm going to give you a... Well, it's going to be another round, so he's going to have to... Alright, so right now you're not seeing him. Even by giving you advantage on the passive perception, because he rolled really high on his stealth.
Okay, so I would still have to use my action on my turn if I wanted to.
So
Okay.
right now, because you're on your passive perception, you don't see him. He rolled a 24 when he rolled
Oh
his stealth.
yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So we go to Tobiashi.
No. Oh yeah, me, huh? I was dead.
There is one goblin. There is only one goblin remaining. He is badly burned, panting, with his
Oh, the
bow
one
on
I
the
have
ground.
dead, right?
And no, the one you have hasn't received anything, so he is still very much alive, trying to break free.
Okay. Well, as I have them up in my hands, I see someone's gonna handle the other one. Already is. So I'm gonna have them in my hands, and I'm gonna slam them onto the ground, and kind of intimidatingly say, "Before I kill you, you're gonna tell me why you guys are killing all these sheeps?"
So are you using an action to
Intimidation.
intimidate? All right. So go ahead,
Yes.
make a roll. And I'm
Oh,
going
wait,
to give
wait.
you. I'm going to give you advantage because you just decimated everyone else around him.
Okay. Oh, wait, using intimidation, right?
Yes,
Heck yeah, 0.
and you have advantage.
16. 16.
All right, you will have the result on his turn.
Okay.
Which is the next one? Okay, so how brave does he feel? He doesn't feel really brave.
The one I'm chasing?
No, the one Tobiashi just slammed on the ground, and
Hold, I'm gonna kill him.
so you do this, and you do see that fear has entered his mind, and he's looking at you, frantically looking around him, and he even tries to struggle to get out of your grapple. So you're going to have to contest
Okay.
his attempt, which he can
Alright.
use as strength athletic.
Alright. Yeah. Okay. Wait, athletic?
Yeah.
Or
If you don't
strength?
have athletics, it's just strength.
Okay, so that's it. Wait. $17.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't break free. So he tries to break free from your restraint, and he looks at you and says, how does he put this? So you asked him in common.
Yes, because I don't know Goblin.
Goblin, yeah.
So you see, he looks at you and says, "It's for him. It's for the hunter."
Oh my god.
Oh,
Goddamn
God.
hunter.
Them
As
fuckers
soon as I
again.
hear
Yep.
that, can I still use my unarmed strike since I slammed him into the ground?
Can I-
Bonus action, I would say.
No, you would be. You could use a key point to do a flurry of blows, but
Okay.
you cannot use the unarmed strike because you didn't attack.
Okay, then I'll use a flurry of blows and headbutt him twice in the face.
Okay.
That was the wrong answer. Wrong answer.
So that
Just
is
bop, bop.
that's an 11, and
The first one doesn't hit.
a 20.
The second one does hit. Roll for damage.
That's a 6. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a 5. Sorry.
That's a 5. So the first headbutt, he does manage to just put his shoulder in front of him, so you hit the shoulder, but it doesn't do him any damage. The second one, you hit him square on the head, and you see his nose bleeding. You probably broke it. He's still alive, but he's really severely injured.
Then I ask him, "Where's your base?"
That's going to have to be another round.
Okay, then I'll wait.
All right. The second one, who is badly injured. Oh. All right. Well, depends on him. No, he doesn't have the guts to try this. He does his best to stand up, and he starts to try and leave the battleground. With everyone looking at him, using the hide, it's still night. Oh, we're going to go and give him disadvantage.
That dude I am at is still there, right?
Yes, I haven't done him yet. Okay. So the one who survived the lightning blast tries to move away by trying to hide, but you all see him. He is just too heavily injured to be able to proficiently hide himself. Okay. But he is trying to move away. The one right in front of you doesn't have the guts to try this. So he uses nimble escape feature to disengage from you, and then he bolts, run as fast as he can, getting 60 feet away from you.
Oh, I'm going after him. But first it's Trevor's turn.
First it's Trevor's turn.
Sir, what's him within 120 feet of me?
The one who killed Tao, and the one trying to stealthily move away, which was badly burned by audience.
Alright, I will... Yeah, fuck audience. I'll shoot the one that went after Tao.
Go ahead.
Alright. Straight roll. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that hits. 17 plus 6.
Yes, it does.
Alright.
You kill him. He only had one hit point.
Okay, yeah, it was 8. So, yeah.
You look at him, you aim carefully, and you fire it right at his back. Hits, he falls face first. He's dead.
Yeah. And about that time he yells, "Yeah, kill my bird, will you?"
So next one is audience. You have a very badly burned kobold. Fortunately, he's been trying to move away, so he's probably 40 feet away from you. Goblin, sorry.
Goblin. I mean...
He's limping.
Kill the baby Yoda.
Okay. I mean, I'll go up to him.
So you are within. Okay, you use movement and action to get up to him. Is that it? He's 40 feet away.
Yeah, I'll basically use my action to go and kind of and go and stand in front of him. I'm basically gonna go because I actually have enough movement to go and actually get in front of him. So I'm basically gonna go just stand in his way, so it's obvious I see him like right in his path, and just be like, "If you want to live, you'll stop trying to run away." I'll say to him in common.
Okay. Okay. So we go.
I guess that would be intimidation. I guess, but.
Yeah, but since you use all of your movement, it's not gonna be a roll. It's really just gonna be him evaluating.
Yeah. I'm basically like saying, like it's obvious we see you, like right, like.
Okay, so Valtteri, it's your turn. You see one who is just in front of audience, and you hear audience basically telling him to, you're not gonna get away. And you see Tobiyashi slamming his head on one who is on the ground. Those are your two options for combat.
Who is the closest?
Audience.
How far?
40 feet about.
I'll go up to him and bite his head off.
Okay, apparently if you stay there too, you'll also die. Because we telling that comment if you ran away.
I mean, he didn't make a decision fast enough.
He did. I
haven't heard it. And I'm a wolf.
You gotta react faster, my guy.
Yeah, if he really wanted to live that bad, I mean.
And I still have advantage because I have now 2 people. And my first roll was a 19, so that will be fun. I just rolled a fucking natural 20. Are you shitting me?
Well, he was at like 1 HP, so I don't think you need to roll.
Yeah,
I
did a big overkill there.
You basically look at him, and he just has the time to look straight up, and he sees this jaw coming, and you hear something in Goblin, which sound like, and you just bite him. You see the blood dripping from your mouth with the radiant explosion in your mouth.
The thing is I was literally like a foot in front of the goblin when she does this. So this is literally, I'm just like standing there like, all right.
And so you see the splash of blood and the radiant explosion of energy from her mouth. And you see half a kobold fall on the ground. Yeah. Presumably the other half still in the mouth of that big wolf.
Well, now I'm just face to face with the giant wolf. It's like, what's up?
It's smiling at you with blood dripping.
Yeah. Fun fact, I even extra rolled for damage because lol, and I rolled a 10.
Yeah, that really works. It's twice the amount of hit points he has easily, so you bit him in half.
Swallowed him whole.
Yeah.
All right, Toby. Well, you got the last goblin.
You're the last one. He's profusely bleeding.
Yeah, I say what I was going to say. Where's your camp at?
Do you wait for him to try and answer?
Quick, or I'll kill it.
Yes, I wait for him to try to answer.
Alright. So... Goodness, he's just a little coward. So, you see this turn, he looks around and he tries to... Alright. He tries to break free again, so make a strength check.
Okay. 18.
He doesn't manage to break free. However, you see him look at you, and you see him take out a dagger that is very different from the other weapon that he has. It is a long dagger, maybe a foot long, with a red blade, sort of made like from a crystal. He looks at you and says, "For the hunter," and he plunges it inside his own stomach. And he dies. But as you see this, you see the blood from the wound disappears. it gets sucked inside the blade.
Cool
And
dagger.
it falls limp. The blade in his stomach.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna take off my wrappings off of him, just kind of like tug and pull, try to get him off of him. So, yeah, and then I'm gonna grab the dagger if I can.
Go ahead.
I mean, we are out of combat now. We don't need to be in initiative anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do I grab and pull it out of his body? I guess.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Well.
So all of you see this because Tobiashi is not that far away from you. He's just maybe 20 feet away, 20 or 30 feet away from you. You probably even heard the goblin shout this as it was happening, and you see Tobiashi with a dagger that is a foot and a half long, red blade, seemingly made out of crystal, in his hand.
Is it now a foot or a foot and a half long? Because first you said a foot long.
I said a foot long. I'd say from your point of view, it's a bit hard to determine if it's a foot or a foot half. It basically is that difference from a foot and a foot.
I don't know.
I use 3 on lay on hands, by the way, to just heal myself back up to full. I just kind of touch myself where the arrow grazed me.
You touch yourself?
Yep. Yes, I do.
He just puts his thing back in order. 3 hit points. Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, that's a good choice of words there.
Whip a quick one out, and I'm back to full HP.
Oh my gosh.
So Tobiashi, as you look at this dagger, and everyone else around you, because, I'd say Trevor does see this because he has a... No, not Trevor. He doesn't have that good of passive perception. Valtteri, you have a good passive perception. You see this Tobiashi holding this dagger in his hand. And
just inspecting.
The dagger is... it doesn't give you anything for me to show this to you. The dagger is about...
That big.
Yeah,
it's a meter.
Not too
I know, it's a screen.
So I guess that would be a meter about-ish.
No, it's not a meter. It's sort of like 40 to 60 centimeters.
Okay.
It's still a long dagger.
Yeah, a meter would be more like about that, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time the story is told, the dagger increases in length. So you see him with this dagger in his hand, which he just took out of the body of a goblin. It's not dripping blood.
I growl at the dagger.
Not even a trace of blood on the dagger.
I growl at the dagger.
And Tobiashi, you see this, of course, because it's right in your face.
Oh, she is?
No, the dagger. I say you see this, but since Valtteri has such a high passive perception, beside you, she's the one with the highest passive perception. She does see this and does notice that there is no blood dripping from this dagger, even though it was just taken out of a dead goblin corpse.
Yeah, well,
since
Trevor still mounted her, I guess you would say. Does he get an inside check to try and decipher what the hell that growl meant or anything?
Sure, why not?
Okay, yeah, I'm proficient.
Also, while he's doing that, I'm looking. Well, I'm gonna look on the body for the sheath that he took it from.
All right.
17 for the inside.
Valtteri, I'd say do a charisma roll, and you have to beat this.
Okay, charisma.
No, actually, I think you have to beat this.
Okay, well, my charisma is 0, and I don't have a saving throw extra on it, so...
It's not a saving throw, it's a charisma roll.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, that's an 8, so...
She just wasn't expressive enough for you to understand what that growl meant.
He did just kill a bunch of things.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check to see if audience can start to decipher that because Val's not there and there's a wolf here. If you can start to figure.
20, if anything, at this point. I would roll literally.
Oh, I actually did roll a nat 20.
Oh.
So you look around and you see that the only one missing is Valtteri. And you've heard about the druid's capability to change shape, and you look at her and says, "Oh, hey Val."
Just figure it out. It like clicks in my head. I'm just like, okay.
I knew there was going to be a high intel check at some point here soon.
So Tobiashi, you see the sheet from which the dagger was drawn, and it is different, sturdier, made from a very thick leather. But other than that, it seems to be very unremarkable.
I'm gonna take the sheath off of him, and I sheath the weapon, and I'm gonna start walking back to the rest of everybody else.
All right.
Does he have also now to make a throw to see if he would understand that it's me?
I'll make one.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Wait, it was intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in your case, I would give you the possibility to choose between intelligence and wisdom.
Yeah, no. That is no. That's still an 8. So.
For intelligence or wisdom?
For wisdom. 8 for wisdom, 7 for intelligence.
8 for wisdom. So you look at this big wolf, and there's a familiar feeling to her, but you just can't put your finger on it.
Okay, well, I go. I walk up, and Trevor's still on it.
Yes.
Yep. Still mounted, technically.
Hey, you rolled an 8.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to it and pet it on its head, and I'll just say, thanks for the help. And I turn over, I look up at Trevor, and I'm like, you can explain this later, but what is this for the time being? And I like toss him a little dagger.
As you see the wolf and pet it, out of a sudden it slowly transforms.
You're gonna drop your wild
and
shape.
While you pet it, you start petting me.
You start by petting the head of a wolf, and slowly the head of the wolf turns into the head of a tiefling, and you find yourself patting the horned head of a tiefling.
Question.
About that time, I'll say Trevor says, "That's what it is."
Question. Because he's still mounted, when I transform...
I would have make him do a dexterity check.
No, my question is, am I like on all fours or just laying flat and he on top of me?
Alright, I will let you choose.
Because I don't think that my normal form is strong enough with 12.
Yeah, I already got my roll, so you just tell me which position you're in, and I'll let you know what my roll was.
I guess just laying flat on the ground then.
10.
That's the
is that you could easily have taken back your shape and actually move toward the front paws of the wolf, meaning that he would have slid off, or you could take the shape and be on 4 legs.
Well, I don't think that I'm strong enough to carry him in my normal form because I have a 12 on strength, so that is why I would be flat on the floor.
Well, this is the first time you used it as well, so you still might be learning.
Alright, so Trevor, you didn't actually need to do this, but however, you do find yourself sitting on Valtteri.
Face
down.
Face down, okay.
Is she okay?
I'm actually going to walk over. I'm going to walk over and actually pick up Trevor and just kind of place him off her. I'm like, that's enough of that.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And he will try and help her up the best he can.
I guess I'll roll. I know I'm going
to and apologize at the same time. Sorry about that. It wasn't intentional.
No problem.
So go ahead, audience. Roll for you.
Yeah, no, I think a 19 will be enough to pick up Trevor.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think I have a problem picking up Trevor in movies.
My lanky ass, yeah, I'm sure you got it.
Trevor, for the first time, you actually feel what cats feels when you take them by the scruff of their neck.
I wasn't taking him by the scruff. I was just kind of putting my hands on either side of his
Oh.
shoulder.
Just grabbing me by the collar
Alright.
of my coat.
No,
picking
I
me
wasn't
up
being
and
like
sitting down.
I was gently moving him. I wasn't being like rough about it.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna ask
inappropriate.
somebody,
Please
gotcha.
move.
Being an ass.
Oh, this is
I'm sitting there like,
Just kind of pick him up like a small child. Just
Yeah.
boop.
Just
You know,
one
just
by
like-
the collar, one by the base where the belt is and all that. Just pick them up and yep, you need to go over there.
All right. So you're all standing-ish in a circle, watching.
Wait. Do I
Where the-
still have the blood of the goblins around my mouth?
I also have a question. Are the injured
I-
people still around?
Because it's the first time shapeshifting, so I don't
Alright,
really have a
alright, so-
control.
Yeah, I didn't know if
power.
it transfers
So
out.
actually, so to order question in the right order, Valtteri, you never said you spat out the goblin. So yes, you actually do have half a goblin still hanging from your jaw. I'm not going to say that you dislocated your jaw. You just still have it dripping blood in your mouth while
Trevor
you
has
are flat on the ground.
Sarcasm
Yeah, I'll
on
spit
his
that
face
out.
there. Yeah.
So yes, you do have blood on your mouth.
Great.
Tobiyashi, what was your question?
Where did the people run away?
Oh yes, they did run away.
Okay. And
There-
is there any sheep still alive?
A few. They didn't have time to slaughter the whole herd.
Yeah.
Maybe there are 6 or 7 that have been mangled. Some have died from blood loss. The other ones, it's probably more humane to kill them.
I will start giving them a blessing and killing the ones that need to be killed because I feel sorry for them. And
Couldn't we heal them?
It's up to
not
you.
some of,
Mercy
wait,
kills.
Wait, what
or-
is with the 2 people that were hurt?
Oh, they
That's what
kept trying to
God.
move away.
Okay.
They ran
Okay.
away.
well, I start killing the ones that look like they can't be healed by magic, like they're past
So
done.
Valtteri, you see Tobiyashi, you recognize someone who is doing a mercy kill. So in his mind, he's looking at a very mangled creature, and you hear him also give a blessing. Sorry, friend, you're just too far gone, and he takes his wakizashi and move on to the next.
Okay.
I turned to Trevor. I'm like, "Who wants some sheep for dinner tonight?"
So at this point, I'm down for anything. That was interesting. It's been a definitely eventful night.
And you see a tear mixed with the blood on the cheek of Valtteri.
Looks like she's already started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he said eventful night. Yeah, that was.
She's already.
He understood
Started-
what happened,
started
but
the
it was
feast.
still the first to see it.
Yeah, I'll be like, how does goblin taste, Valtteri?
So I walk up after Mercy killing all these sheep. I'm like cleaning the blade off a little bit, and I walk up to Trevor and I hand him the dagger. I'm like, I got this off of the one that killed himself. Could you take a look at it?
Yeah, sure. Let me have a quick look around everybody else and see if any of the others have anything worth a shit on them. So I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to do this and then end the episode. You look around and you mostly only find the equipment that they had. However, those who tried to attack you with blades all have this dagger on them. So in
Alright.
total, you find 4 daggers like this, all
Alright.
roughly the same. They're not industrially made. They seem to have been carved by hand because they're not identical, but they all seem to be made from this red crystalline material, all between a foot and a foot and a half.
All right, just making a quick note of it for 4 days, red crystal for identify next session. So.
And none of, even though they've all been using it to slaughter sheep, none of them have blood on them.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's going to take a while for ritually casting, so we'll do that next session.
All right, so this is the end of this episode.
I walk up to the audience and I'm like, so you talk about these father... No, I'm trying.
All right, so
2 hours later.
Yeah.
We finally had a fight.
Yes.
Oh,
And
That was so
depending on
exciting.
how things go, you might even have another one next session.
oh boy.
Yes. I need to heal up though, 7 hit points.
Yes. All right, so
Trevor still take no damage on that.
so we're going to close this episode here. For those who might have missed a prior episode, there is a link in the panels below for the YouTube channel. For those wondering about maybe rule change, there hasn't been any in this in this session, but I will post the rule change for the rest that I've been talking about for a while. It will be on the Patreon during the week, well, at least before next Wednesday. And speaking of Patreon, if you want to support us with money, you can always go with Patreon and make a donation. And if you just want to show us that you are actually listening to this, you can follow us on YouTube, here on Twitch, and also on Twitter. So, see you all next Wednesday.
See ya.
See you.
Yep.
Bye.